Good morning all.
Good morning, sir.
So this is a current affairs class, weekly current affairs. Okay, today. So first things first. Okay, just for my own satisfaction, let me start from the beginning. So we have two stages. One is prelims, one is mains. Interview is a part of mains. Okay, so whenever you read any current affair article in any newspaper, what are the things you should keep in your mind? First of all, you should keep prelims in your mind. The article which you are reading, the news which you are reading, how it can be asked in prelims, how it is useful for me in prelims, how it is useful for me in CSAT. Can anyone tell me how newspaper is useful in CSAT? Yeah, it will give you the comprehension and the terms also. Okay, many kind of technical terms. A CSAT comprehension can be given on an environment topic, and they will not explain you the meanings of all the words in the environment. So only when you read this GS3 environment only, then you will be able to understand that paragraph fully. Okay, comprehension fully. So it is helpful in both the papers in prelims. Anything can be used in essay paper. Even your common sense, even your childhood memories, anything, all the things you read in the preparation, throughout the preparation, anything can be used in your essay paper. Okay, for GS we have defined syllabus and we will make our static notes, then we will add some notes from the current affairs, of course. Okay, then personality test. Okay, interview. So all the things should be kept in mind, like how question can be asked on this in my interview. If I reach that interview stage, how a question can be asked on this. Okay, so when you read anything, you should keep all these things in your mind. And one more thing I want to tell you is that I can see many of you are very nervous because you are foundational course students. Most people of you are nervous and you are worried too much. You are worried too much about the future. Okay, so there is one basic rule here in UPSC CSC preparation. In fact, for anything, to achieve anything in the world. Why you are afraid of something? Because you do not fully understand it. When you understand something, you will clearly know what to do. Then there will be no fear. There will be only hard work. Okay, so if you are afraid of something, that means you did not understand it fully. So first try to understand what is UPSC, what is prelims, what is mains. Not just prelims is 100 questions, mains is 20 questions per paper, 250 marks. This is not I am saying. How questions are being framed, how toppers are answering the questions, how are they getting the marks they are getting, what is the difference between toppers answer sheet and my answer sheet. Understood? So when you try to think like this, when you try to understand all the rules of the game, then fear will go away, confidence will come, you will start to improve slowly. I told you already, the aim is to reach topper level by the day of the exam, not today or tomorrow. Today you will be imperfect, you will not be enough. Next month you will not be enough. Next March you will not be enough. April you will not be enough. 1 month before mains you will not be enough. Still you will not get that full confidence. There is nothing like complete preparation done, I am ready. No, you will never reach that stage even 1 minute before the exam. You will always feel incomplete. But the thing most important is that, am I a better version than myself yesterday? Okay, so today you should be better. At the end of the day, you should be better than how you were yesterday. Same goes for next day. So day by day, take one day at a time, improve yourself. Put patience, give patience, okay? Put belief in yourself, okay? So take it slowly. Aim is to achieve topper level marks, which are 50% of the total marks. Understood? So if exam is for 2025, toppers are scoring around 1000. That means you don't need to achieve perfection. Don't run after perfection. 50% marks, people who are scoring 50% marks, they are all India toppers. So that is the level of difficulty at the exam. So it is okay to be imperfect in this setup. So don't target 50, your target should be 100. But even if you reach 50% of what you are expecting, it will be fine in the final exam. Understood? So don't worry too much. Okay, try to understand. Always criticize yourself. See, this is the normal tendency our education system will develop. We will develop overconfidence for ourselves. We will assume too much of ourselves and we think less of others. We are very harsh on others, kind to ourselves. If we do a mistake, we forgive ourselves. But the same mistake if any other person do, we will be very harsh on them. Okay, we will criticize others. We will justify our own action. Do the exact opposite here. Okay, because you are spoon fed by our education system. They will give you a question bank, questions will come from that question bank, you will write, you will get marks. There is a defined syllabus, there are defined books, etc. You read those books, questions will come from that, you write that. 80, 90, 9 points, 900s. This is not the way UPSC CSE works, because here you are supposed to deal with the real world problems and it tests you in many ways. Okay, so do the opposite. Criticize yourself too much. Be kind to others. Be harsh on yourself. Always question. I have read the question. I have read the newspaper today. Did I read it in the proper way? Can I read it in a better way? Evaluate your own answer. You feel okay, this is good answer, but then think, how can I improve this again? How can I add one more mark? Can I add a diagram? Can I add a quote? So the trick here is to always self-criticize, not in a destroying way. You criticize yourself in a constructive way. That means when you criticize yourself, you should improve yourself. It's not like you go into depression, you leave Ashok Nagar and go to home. Not like that. Okay, you criticize in such a way that you improve yourself. Okay, always look for improvement. Improvement is the key. Okay, then some facts about the current affairs role, okay, in previous year questions. Many people think current affairs is dominating thing. In fact, there is a stereotype that GS2 and GS3 are almost current affairs. Okay, but in my personal opinion, based on my own analysis of previous newspaper, I will say static syllabus will cover up to 70% of the exam. Current affairs is 30%. Okay, but here the definition of current affairs is debatable. See, some person is elected as chief minister. Let's say this is the news you are reading in the newspaper. Sarat Chandra IAS elected as chief minister of Andhra. This is news. This is current affairs. I am not talking about that. When I say current affairs in UPSC, I mean the process of election of chief minister. Let that person whoever be, let that state whatever the state. Understood? How is chief minister elected? How is speaker elected? Some speaker gets elected to the parliament. You are not supposed to remember his name. That is not needed. You are supposed to understand how is speaker elected. Okay, that is the issue. So understand the difference between news versus issue. Common person focuses on the news, but you are expecting to be an administrator. So you should focus on the issue. Issue is common. News frequently changes. Okay, so this issue is the core of the current affairs. That is why most part of current affairs also becomes static. So how a chief minister is elected is a static or current affairs thing? So you are reading it in newspaper. It can be understood or it can be interpreted as a part of current affairs. But the issue underlying is a static one. Understood? That is why static is the most dominating thing in this exam. But which particular static topic is important? That you can understand from the current affairs. You read something, you go issue behind that. You inquire the issue behind that, you make notes on that, then that becomes part of the static, and the direction you started is from current affairs, but it is a part of static. So questions will come from static, but the source is mostly current affairs. So understand the difference. Current affairs means just an updation of static only. Direct questions from current affairs come very less, okay, maximum of 30%, okay, either in prelims or mains, okay. Like this year, last year government has made 106 Constitutional Amendment Act. So if a question comes, this year it is current affairs, because there was no 106th amendment last year. So this year it is current affairs, but next year it becomes a part of static. Understood? And in that, take the same example, 106th Constitutional Amendment Act. First of all, there is an issue of constitutional amendment. How is constitution amended? It is a static underlying behind the current affairs. Understood? So you should always look for issues behind the news. That is the key. News itself is not too much important for the UPSC. So if you focus too much on the news, then you will feel like I am reading current affairs but I am not getting enough marks. Why? Okay, because you are not focusing on the issue, you are focusing on the news. Next, critical analysis. Do a critical analysis. That means in most cases, every issue has two sides. Take yesterday's topic, Uniform Civil Code. Is it a good thing or bad thing? You will find arguments on both sides. It is a good thing in sense that it unifies all Indians. Why can't we implement same code for all Indians? What is the negative side? Okay, you are saying same rule for everyone, but whose rule is that? A rule which is good for you is not good for me. A rule which is good for me is not acceptable to you. So how do we arrive at consensus? So some things are debatable. So it may result in social unrest. Things are fine now. There is no such emergency like you have to implement CCC. Things are fine. People are happy. People are coexisting. Now we are forcefully imposing UCC on them. Then people will start to fight. Communalism will rise. Politicians will take opportunity. So in this case, implementing UCC resulted in a negative consequence. So you have to, whatever you do, you have to do carefully, patiently in this case. So every side will have two parts. Being an administrator, you are supposed to leave your personal biases. Okay, we have seen yesterday, we have so many identities. So if I am a Dalit and when I talk about issues related to Dalits and I become too emotional and my answer is like very radical, no, reservation should be increased, general quota completely should be dismissed, etc. If I am too radical, or I am a Muslim and there is a communal issue, if I become too radical in the answer paper, that means I am not fit to be an administrator. Because whatever my personal background is, whatever my identity is, when a real issue comes, I should deal it in a such a way it benefits the nation. It benefits maximum number of Indians. My personal biases I should keep separately from my official role. Okay? How do you develop that? When you do critical analysis, when you understand all sides, everyone has some points, you try to understand their genuine concerns. If everyone has some drawbacks, you try to explain them. That's how you bring negotiation. That's how you bring consensus. That's how real world problems are solved. See, Russia-Ukraine war is going on. Who is right, who is wrong? You ask Russia, I am fully right. Russia says. Ukraine says, I am innocent, Russia attacked me. Same goes for Hamas, Gaza and Israel. Everyone is right in their own version. So you have to understand there are two sides to the coin and the talent of administrator is in negotiation, in bringing consensus. So this is the skill UPSC is looking in aspirants. Okay. So you should develop first. You should develop this skill first, then prove yourself to UPSC. I have this. I got this. You can select me. Okay. You have to prove it to UPSC through your mains answers and interview. Okay. Maintain consistency. See, whatever you do today, you read for 15 hours. You will feel like it is not enough. Do the same for next day. You will feel like it is not enough. Even if you study 20 hours, you did not sleep, you did not eat properly. It always feels short because there is so much syllabus to cover. People will say newspaper should be read in 2 hours. I guarantee you no person can complete newspaper in 2 hours. Even a senior aspirant who has studied, who is in preparation for 5 to 6 years, he cannot complete newspaper in 2 years. If anyone is completing newspaper in 2 years, personally I am saying they are not reading it properly. Because properly read along with the static issues behind that. If you read news plainly, you can complete it in 2 hours. But I told you, there are issues behind every news and they are part of static. When something comes in static, you have to go and you should read the static part. I am reading some person is elected as chief minister. Reading the headline will take 1 minute. Move on to next article. Okay, I can finish newspaper in 2 hours. But if I open Lakshmikant or Constitution, PDF, PM Bakshi, and I read relevant articles of chief minister election, then it will take me some additional 5 minutes. It is okay. It took some more time. But I have studied properly. In the previous action, I have completed in 1 minute. But it is not of any use to me. I will not be able to answer any question in the final exam. Here I have taken 10 minutes for the same article, but now I am able to answer any question coming from this part. Understood? So it's okay if you take time, be patient. Okay. Most important thing is consistency. Do it every single day. Do it every single day. See what is Bruce Lee saying? I fear not the man who has practiced 10,000 kicks once. You practice 10,000 different types of kicks, but each kick one time. That means you have not mastered any kick. You did everything only once. But I fear the man who has practiced one kick 10,000 times. So when a person practices something 10,000 times, that means he has become an expert in that. When he delivers that kick, even Bruce Lee can't stop it because he has practiced it 10,000 times. So even if you do things 10,000 different things once, it is of no use to you. So maintain consistency. Do the same thing again and again. It is very boring. It is very routine. Okay, you will feel like there is no change in life, there is no kick in life. Okay, but still in long term it is a good thing. Okay, consistency is very important. And one more thing, people think there are so many secrets. What are toppers doing separately that I am not doing? What is the secret? What is the secret? How to make notes? Okay, what is the secret? How to improve my answers? Okay, have you seen this movie Kung Fu Panda? So in this movie, this is an animated movie. This is a goose, this is a panda. This goose raises this panda as his own son. From childhood he raises his son, and this goose father has a restaurant. And it is a very famous for the soup, noodle soup. So everyone will come, everyone eat, and he never tells his ingredient to anyone. He has a secret ingredient and he keeps it as a secret throughout the movie. Even he will not even reveal it to his own son. So in future there will be a situation both of them has to get separated. In the last moments, son will ask, please tell me what is your secret ingredient? How are you keeping all these people who go to your restaurant? He will say, I will tell you secret, there is no secret ingredient. I am doing same thing as everybody is doing. But I am telling everyone there is a secret ingredient. So everybody is believing there is something secret in that. And everybody is finding taste in it. There is no secret ingredient. I am making the same regular soup everyone is making. So in this particular sentence, the message is that you have to understand something as special. So maintaining consistency, doing same activities every day, reading newspaper every day, making notes every day, same static topics. It may feel boring, but believe me, if you do it every day for the next 8-10 months, it is a very special thing. Very few people will do. If you have a batch of like 30 people, I will say only hardly 2-3 people will maintain that consistency. It is not easy. Whatever we are thinking, you assume like I will do it. Okay, what is so secret in this? What is so special in this? I will do it. But the secret is here only. There is nothing else. Put hard work, put smart work, put consistency. Time is not enough, so there comes the smart work. You have to read like 100 pages a day, time will not be enough. There comes the role of smart work, how I can improvise. Okay. So there are no secrets. Whatever you already know, you already know. This is how current affairs should be done. You already know how to do static. Now the question is only one thing, how you will put the efforts. Do you maintain the consistency or not? It is the most difficult thing. Okay, maintain consistency, do the same things and again, make notes. And one more thing I want to tell you, should I give attempt next year or not, or the very next year or not? If anyone has these doubts, there is a simple solution. Exam will be usually in May or June, prelims. Before 2 months of prelims, like March, by the end of the March, if you are ready with your static notes for all the parts and syllabus, at least static I am saying, it is good if you add current affairs to static also, but at least for static, every keyword in the syllabus, okay. In GS1 we have like 20 keywords, okay. History, art and culture, okay, modern, world history, Indian society. How many keywords we have in Indian society? We have discussed like 10 chapters. So all these 10 chapters are like 10 keywords. So for every paper, for every keyword, if you have proper static notes made by yourself, not copied from any institution, made by yourself, that means you have read it. Making means not copy pasting. Making means you are understanding what you are putting. You see some point, you think it is relevant, you have read it, then you will add it. If you make static notes like this by the time of March, you can risk the attempt. Okay, it is just a matter of current affairs, adding and revising for prelims and mains, you can risk. But if you did not make static notes by the time of March for all parts in the syllabus, including ethics, then you may reconsider, am I ready or not? Now it is up to your own call, okay. But I will say, if you finish that static notes, that means you have completed one basic revision of whole static, all papers, that means you can risk it, you are ready, okay. Providing you put the same efforts remaining 5-6 months till the end of mains, okay. Next, this is the most important skill in current affairs. Link to the syllabus in as many ways as possible. When we read the news, usually it feels like it is linked to one topic or at max 2. But there is no limit, it depends on the aspirant's ability. I think in my personal opinion, this is where toppers are separated from the normal people. Same news we will read, they will read, but they will understand this can be used in multiple ways. See, I will explain with an example. Read this and tell me in how many papers it is related. First, just have a look. Okay, what is the content of GS1, GS2, GS3, GS4? So anything can be used in essay, anything can be asked in essay. So there is no syllabus for essay. Okay, even though prelims syllabus was given, consider main syllabus as prelims. Except ethics, more or less everything is prelim syllabus, because there is a part that is saying current events of national and international importance. So anything happening in the world right now can be asked in prelims. So GS1 we have art and culture, we have modern history, we have world history, we have Indian society, geography. Geography has both Indian geography and world geography. Even there is no ancient medieval history. Art and culture questions related to ancient and medieval history can be asked in mains. Understood? Under the art and culture section. Indian economy, GS2, constitution, literal articles. You should read at least one. Don't read Lakshmikant directly. You should read constitution hard copy PDF. Okay. Constitution, polity, governance, social justice, international relations. Okay. You can see the syllabus. Syllabus is more or less divided into these parts. Okay. If you are confused which part belong to which, just Google it. Okay. You will ultimately find it. In GS3 we have economy, agriculture, science and technology, environment, disaster management, internal security, and GS4 is ethics. Okay. So when we read news, link it, whether it is related to geography, it is related to international relations, it is related to agriculture, economy, and most people ignore ethics, but things can also be related to ethics. No current affairs is directly linked to ethics usually, because ethics is like theory part, but you can use the cases you see, news you see, examples you see in newspaper in ethics. That is a good answer. If you just write whatever already written in the study material, you read it and you copy paste it, it sounds boring to the evaluator. He is reading the same things for like 100 copies per day. But if you add one current affair which is related to ethics, it makes him feel refreshing. Okay, at least one guy is different from the rest. Okay, so when you read current affairs, you also think from ethics perspective. Can I use this in ethics? Can I use this in essay? Okay. So now read this, tell me in how many ways it can be linked to our syllabus, in how many parts of the syllabus, like GS1, GS2, geography. The invasion of Ukraine by Russia is creating a shortage of many goods and rising import bill for neutral countries like India. Even condemned Russia for the resulting humanitarian crisis and environment damage. Okay, many goods like fertilizers. When Russia attacked Ukraine, Ukraine is a very important source for us like fertilizers. Okay, we import fertilizers from Ukraine. So when there is a shortage, when there is a war going on, there will be no much economic activity. So there will be shortage of goods. Supply demand formula, when things are in less supply, less quantity, prices will increase. So India is paying more amount for the same fertilizers. So tell me this, to how many subjects this can be linked?
Indian economy.
Indian economy. How Indian economy? Okay. This import bill thing. Okay. Environmental damage, because war is causing damage. Okay. So same environment, GS3. International relations. Okay. It is happening between two countries and it is also affecting India. There is also syllabus line saying policies. Okay. And policies of for international countries and organizations affecting India. Okay. So international relations, GS2. Ethics. How is ethics? Yeah, humanitarian crisis, and Russia is doing something wrong and UN is criticizing it. So what is the right thing to do in war? What is the wrong thing to do? What is ethics? Ethics is basically concerned about right and wrong, good and bad. So Russia is doing something bad and UN is criticizing it. So there, UPSC already asked a question on this, war ethics. Okay, so it can be linked to ethics, GS4 and
Science and technology.
how science and technology?
The weapons, the advanced weapons.
Just limit yourself to this particular para, whatever given in this para. Can it be linked to geography?
Yes.
How? So when a country or when any region comes into news, you are supposed to know the basic features of it. UPSC already asked a question on neighbors of Ukraine. UPSC has given list of countries and asked how many of these countries are bordering Ukraine. Okay. So I will link it to geography in GS1. So why Russia attacked Ukraine? In real time asking, why Russia has attacked Ukraine? NATO, and it is a very big issue. It is a part of world history. Okay, Ukraine was part of Soviet Russia. Both were part of same country, USSR, in the past. So Ukraine has broken from Russia, USSR, but now it is moving closer to Western countries, and Russia is seeing this as a threat. Okay, so the main issue is in world history. You should ask yourself, why Russia attacked Ukraine? When you read this, why Russia did this? Okay, then it will lead you to world history. Okay, GS1. World history, geography, okay. IR, economy, environment, ethics. Okay, see, so one topic, just one paragraph, we are able to relate 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 subjects. Understood? But on the face of it, it looks like only international relations topic. Understood? So this ability everyone should develop. When you develop this ability, that means same content you have, you can use this in all of these papers and essay. Okay, in ethics you are writing an answer, you think this is an appropriate example, you can use it. Okay, so this is the ability I am talking about. When you read current affairs, any topic, try to link to as many syllabus topics as possible. Okay, so let us start. Okay, I am just starting, arranged all the topics subject wise. Okay, GS1, GS2, GS3, but I am already saying at the beginning, many topics can be linked to multiple subjects. Okay, so Mahakumbh Mela, in Hindu there was an article. I have taken Hindu newspaper for this week. Okay, if you ask me sources, how to read newspaper, I will say this: take one newspaper, either Hindu or Indian Express. Take any one thing, anything will be fine. Indian Express is actually trying very hardly to capture this UPSC people. So it is giving good content these days. Hindu is always preferred by UPSC aspirants. So take any paper, both will be fine. More or less every news will be covered. If a news article will come in Hindu today, it may come tomorrow in Indian Express. Okay, so, but ultimately all articles will come today or tomorrow, more or less, in both the newspapers. So take any one newspaper as your primary thing and read it from start to end. Make notes of all the relevant articles. Okay, you can ignore completely useless articles, like if a movie hero is arrested, that is not useful to you. Okay, you can skip those type of news. So read all the relevant articles, if possible make notes of it. If you want more, if you feel like I am ignoring other newspapers which are useful, then just take a glance. I am reading, let's say I am reading the Hindu, then after finishing the Hindu, just 5-10 minutes I will take a look of Indian Express fast. If there is any article which I have not read, I may add it to my notes, or that particular article I may read, and this is optional, you don't need to do it. If you follow consistently one newspaper, it is enough. Okay, and if you have time, then you may go for Yojana, etc. There are some government publications. Okay, see, ultimately Hindu and Indian Express both are like newspapers by private agencies, but we are trying to be an administrator. So government source is very important for us. So there is a government source for news like PIB. So because it only talks about government things, it does not talk useless things like movies, sports, etc. So this is a very good source to focus on government actions, governance. Okay, so you can take a look at PIB at the end of the day. You read newspaper, like after 8 or 9 night, just take a 5-10 minutes look at PIB. If there is any news which is not covered by you, you can just add it, or news which come in PIB will be covered in next 2-3 days newspaper. If they are not covered, then you can read it. Okay, so PIB focus on only on government actions, government programs, so it is a very useful source for us, but there is a overlap. Don't waste too much time. Same news if repeated in multiple sources, don't waste too much time. Okay, and there are also 2 important magazines, Yojana and Kurukshetra. Okay, I will say these are optional, but they can be useful in a way that if they take a topic, they will give you from start to end. Okay, let's say for example I am saying, if there is a issue on Yojana, if it is dealing on Uniform Civil Code, it will give you everything, all the background, all the pros and all the cons, and what government can do, suggestions also, everything start to end. So you don't need any other source for that particular topic. So Yojana topics, if you get time, you will get a lot of notes. You can just literally copy paste from it. Okay, it is very useful. Both are similar magazines. Okay, so but first finish newspaper only if you have time, then go for PIB, Yojana, Kurukshetra, etc. Okay, so you can say these are optional, these are mandatory. One newspaper is mandatory. If you have time, then you can do this. Okay. So our first news is Kumbh Mela. So in Prayagraj, erstwhile Allahabad. So there was a city in UP called Allahabad. Now it is renamed as Prayagraj. So government is preparing for Kumbh Mela 2025. So what is this Kumbh Mela? This is a traditional Hindu festival. Okay, GS1 art and culture. Question can be asked in art and culture section. So 13th to 26th February 2025. Kumbh Mela is occurring. Pushkarala anta mana Telugulo. Okay. So in this festival period, in this auspicious period, people will go to this river and they will take bath in this river. Okay, holy bath. So how often this Kumbh Mela occurs? At a given place. At a given place. If you take Prayagraj or Allahabad. Okay. Usually every 12 years Kumbh Mela will occur. Okay, ప్రతి 12 సంవత్సరాలకు ఒకసారి పుష్కరాలు వస్తాయి. But there is also another tradition called Ardha Kumbh Mela. That means in 2025 now Kumbh Mela is being celebrated in Prayagraj. So 2025 plus 6. In 2031 they will celebrate something called Ardha Kumbh Mela. It is a smaller one. Okay, Ardha Kumbh Mela. Half Kumbh. And again after another 6. In 2037, that means 12 years after 2025, again they will celebrate another Mahakumbh Mela. So Kumbh Mela or Purna Kumbh Mela or Mahakumbh Mela, all three are same. They are celebrated for every 12 years. Ardha Kumbh Mela is celebrated for every 6 years. Okay. At a given place, I am saying. If you take only Prayagraj, this is what happens. At Prayagraj, every 12 years, Kumbh Mela will happen. And overall, if you take India, you will see Kumbh Mela for every 3 years. Okay. So in 2025, Kumbh Mela is celebrated at Allahabad, Prayagraj. Okay. Then let's say in 2028, after 3 years, it can be celebrated at Haridwar. Haridwar in Uttarakhand. Okay. Then another 3 years. In 2031, it can be celebrated in Ujjain, MP. Then in 2034, it can be celebrated at Nashik. So it is based on this movements of planet, astrology, traditional Hinduism, Hindu astrology, etc. Okay. So if you see from country perspective, every 3 years at one place or another place, Kumbh Mela is celebrated. But at a given place, it is celebrated for every 12 years. So in 2025, Kumbh Mela is at Prayagraj. So next it will come in 2038 or 2037. Next 2028 Haridwar. So next will be 2040. At Ujjain it will be 2043. At Nashik it will be 2046, etc. So at a given place it is 12 years, but in country it is for every 3 years, and there is also some tradition called Ardha Kumbh Mela. So it is a complex thing. So similar type of Kumbh Melas are celebrated at regular intervals in India. Okay. And what are the rivers in these places? Can you tell me the river at Haridwar in Uttarakhand? Ganga river. Which river in Ujjain used for this Kumbh Mela? There is a river called Shipra. So if there is a question, match the following or mapping. Okay, Ganga, Uttarakhand, Shipra, MP. Okay. Next, which river is in Nashik? Godavari river. Okay. This we know, Godavari Pushkarala antam. Okay. So what are the rivers at Prayagraj? Allahabad. Allahabad is famous for this place where the mix of Ganga, Yamuna and Saraswati. Okay. At the confluence of these three rivers, Kumbh Mela is celebrated. Okay. Next, recently, and there is an award called Sangeet Kalanidhi Award, and this award was given to the music composer come activist, okay, T.M. Krishna, okay, and it was given by Madras Music Academy. Name is Madras Music Academy. Okay. So India basically has two types of classical music. So in art and culture, you will read different types of dances, different type of art forms, different types of music in India. If you take classical music, that means traditional Indian music, there are two types of classical musics in India. One is Hindustani, another one is Carnatic. Okay. Hindustani, Carnatic does not have to do with Karnataka. Okay, it is just a word for whole South India. Hindustani music is developed in North India more or less, where the influence of Islam is higher. Like all the Muslim rulers sat in Delhi, so they ruled India from Delhi, Agra, etc. So in North India there is a significant Islam influence. So there was a mix of Hindu music traditions and Islamic music traditions, and a composite classical music called Hindustani music got developed in northern India. And in southern India, a music called Carnatic music got developed. Okay, Carnatic. This is for South India, this is for North India. You can take this PPT. This content you don't write. Whatever I am adding, you can write. Okay, PPT you can collect from them. Okay. So Carnatic is the classical form of Indian music developed in southern part of India. Okay. And there is a music academy called Madras Music Academy. It is a very famous music academy in southern part. So in Carnatic music, this award given by this particular music academy is very famous. It is called South Indian Snowball. Okay, Carnatic Music Oscar. Carnatic Music Oscar. So it is a very prestigious award, and it was given to this Carnatic vocalist T.M. Krishna. See, fact is not important. Never fact is important. I did not include this news for the fact. UPSC will not ask question like Kalanidhi, Sangeet Kalanidhi Award 2024 or 2025 was given to which person. No, no question will come. Why I added this particular news is that this person who has received this award, T.M. Krishna, he is a social activist also. He uses music to raise against issues like caste system. Okay, so he is criticizing the caste domination, Brahminic domination in this Carnatic music. Okay, traditionally all the classical things were almost monopolized by Brahmins. Nowadays things are changing, but the Brahmin supremacy and the caste discrimination inside this music environment is questioned by T.M. Krishna. He is an activist, so he is actively fighting on these issues. Then this award was announced for him. Then some people questioned, when a person is criticizing an organization, when a person is criticizing the setup, how you can give the highest award to that person? So people criticized the choice of the Madras Music Academy to give this award to T.M. Krishna, who is a strong critic of the Carnatic traditions. Okay. Then some people came in support. How can personal views relevant to talent? The award was given to the talent. He has some personal views. How you can make a person disqualify when he is talented? How you can make a person disqualify from his personal views? So this issue became controversial. So ultimately even with some protest, that Madras Music Academy gave the award to the T.M. Krishna. Okay. So this is the question. Can personal views be a factor in deciding things like this? Okay. If you find any such topic in essay, use this as an example. Okay. Then in Kerala, one recent controversial thing happened. So there was a mutt. Okay. Telugulo mattam antam manam. In Malayalam it is called Madam. Okay. It is a Hindu mutt, temple kind of thing. Okay. In a place called Shivagiri. So there is a Mattam or Madam, Shivagiri Madam in Kerala, and there is a tradition there. When a male enters, he is supposed to remove his shirt, and then only he can enter the inside of the temple. This is the tradition. It did not start like that, but now it became a tradition. Now every person entering the temple, they are being asked to remove the shirt. Okay. So this became controversial because for some festival, Kerala Chief Minister went there and he has reminded people that this particular mattam or mutt has a different history. In fact, it was started in resistance to the rigidity in the Hindu traditional religion. So they have started this with a reformist outlook. The person who started this is Sri Narayan Guru. So he is a Kerala reformer. He fought very strongly against caste system. So he asked this question: why only a Brahmin can be a priest? Why cannot a non-Brahmin be a priest? Okay. So he reformed many temples, etc., many Hindu traditions, etc. in Kerala, and he started this mutt with a reformist outlook to ensure equality of everyone. But somehow these traditional rituals like people has to remove their shirt, etc., creeped in. Now they are being enforced very strictly. So there is a debate going on between opposition members and Chief Minister of the state. Chief Minister is saying Sri Narayan Guru fought against the rigidity in the Hindu religion, but now you have made it a part of, like a opposition parties are saying he is a supporter of traditional Hindu religion, which they call Sanatan Dharma, and they are asking to keep this rule. People should remove their shirt and go on. So Chief Minister is asking, is it a good practice in modern times? Okay, people have different beliefs. If I want to pray in some temple, why should I remove my shirt? Okay, who are putting that rules? That is the question. Same question like UCC. Now you are saying a rule. Whose rule it is? I am not accepting that rule. I am a Hindu, I am not accepting. He is saying. So he is saying it is a regressive practice, it should go on. So this is a issue going on. So because some issue is going on, now you are supposed to look the background of it. So what is this? Shivagiri Madam. It is established by a person called Sri Narayan Guru, who is a social reformer. When you read modern history, you will read about him. There is a chapter called reforms in social reforms in history. Okay, so you will read about Raja Ramohan Rai, Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar, Sri Narayan Guru, etc. there. Okay, Jyotiba Phule, etc. So he is a very known famous personality only, and he came from a caste called Ezhava community. So this Ezhava community is kind of backward in Kerala. It is not a Dalit community, but it was treated very badly. So it is a backward community having very high population. So he is seeing their conditions. This particular community and all the other backward classes are being treated very poorly. Brahmins are dominating and they are enforcing very rigid restrictions and rituals. So he gone for reform. He started new temples without Brahmins. He demanded for entry of everyone in the temples, etc. So you will read about him in modern history. Okay. So he started an organization called Sri Narayana Dharma Paripalana Yogam. Okay, SNDP. So something started with a reformist outlook, now became same old rigid institution. Okay, that is the issue here. That is why Chief Minister is criticizing it. So some people are supporting it, some people are opposing it now. Then Siang Upper Multipurpose Project. So this is Arunachal Pradesh, this is Bhutan, and this is India, and this is China. See, this is the Brahmaputra river. Brahmaputra river starts in Tibet. Okay, Tibet in China. So here somewhere it starts in Himalayas, Tibet, then it flows eastward. In China it is called Yarlung Tsangpo. Okay, this is the name of Brahmaputra river in China, Yarlung Tsangpo. Okay, Then there are Himalayas, East Himalayas here. So suddenly Brahmaputra takes a kind of U-turn here. Then it will come into India. It will enter Arunachal Pradesh. Okay. In Arunachal Pradesh, it is called Siang River. Same river, same Arunachal River. It is called same Brahmaputra River. It is called Siang. Then this Siang mixes with one or two other rivers like Lohit, Barak, etc. Then it will enter Assam. From Assam, it is called Brahmaputra. So Yarling Sangpo, Siang, Brahmaputra, more or less same flows. Okay. Brahmaputra, Siang becomes Brahmaputra upon addition of two or more rivers like Barak and Lohit. Okay. So this is how river is flowing now. This is the geography. Now what China is doing? China is planning world largest dam on this Yarlung Sangpo or Brahmaputra river. World largest dam. What happens when a dam is constructed? Water flow is manually modified. That means if they want water, they will withhold all the water. That means these rivers may face lesser water, drought kind of situation. If they feel water is too much, like they are keeping water for some purpose, suddenly too much rain came, dam may get bursted. So suddenly they will leave all the water. What will happen? It will get flooded. All the lower regions will get flooded. So if someone is building dam at our borders, it is a risk for us. So they should have done some friendly negotiations with us before doing that, but they have announced unilaterally. Not only they are constructing dam, they are constructing the world largest dam. So what can we do now? Now China is becoming very aggressive. What can we do? So we are proposing our own dam here. Just when this Siang river or Brahmaputra is entering Arunachal Pradesh. So now we are proposing our own project to limit the damage that may cause from this China project. So if they are leaving too much water, we will control it here. Okay, if we want to leave, we will leave, so that lower areas will get enough water and will not get flooded. Okay, based on situation, we can operate as per the requirement. Okay, so this particular project, Siang Upper Multipurpose Project, is proposed. Okay. So it also has other advantages. When we build a dam, we can use it for power generation, okay, giving drinking water to the surrounding areas, etc. Apart from the natural benefits like controlling floods, okay, maintaining enough water, etc. Then, so government in 2017 has formed an agency called National Testing Agency. Okay, National Testing Agency. So this National Testing Agency was given tasks like conducting exams, entrance exam for NEET undergraduates. NEET is for doctors, okay. NEET undergraduates, NEET postgraduates, IIT JEE, okay, JEE mains for IITs, etc. All the prestigious entrance exam and some recruitment exams also. This NTA was given the task of conducting the exams. Last year when this NEET undergraduate exam happened, there people found that paper got leaked to many people. Some people got private access to NEET paper in advance. So this paper leak, this scam became a very big issue. And this one or two incidents, similar incidents repeated. So now the role of NTA is being questioned. Instead of reforming in a positive way, in 2024 this organization is doing things in a bad way. So this is not acceptable. So out of the criticism for reformation, government has appointed a committee. And the committee name is, okay, so K. Radhakrishna panel is related to exam reforms and NTA restructuring. Okay, this can be asked in prelims. Okay, if you want to read some more additional things for mains, go and read what exactly this panel has recommended. When you appoint a panel, that panel will study and submit some recommendations, some reports. You can read it, how to reform NTA, what can we do, etc. Why this is important? Because now government is accepting the recommendations of the Radhakrishnan panel. So some people went to court. Here government is saying we will implement recommendations of this Radhakrishnan panel. Some people went to court because nothing is happening on ground. Then court asked some explanation to the government. Government said, sir, don't worry, we have already appointed a committee and they have given some recommendations through a report and we are implementing it. So reforms will come. Okay. farmer protest. So farmer protests are going on in India right now, okay, in Punjab, Haryana especially. So what are this dispute is about? So yesterday I told you, agriculture is a state subject. Agriculture is a state subject. And if you see, because India is agricultural dominant economy right now, Indian state is giving agriculture so many benefits to the farmers. Whether it is enough or not, that is a different thing. But if you see, there is no tax on agriculture income. How much you earn, there is no tax on agriculture income. And all the farmers were given subsidies on fertilizers. Government has many schemes also for farmers, irrigation schemes, etc. So agriculture government is giving so much support, but India basically is agriculture dominant economy, and we are mostly reliant on monsoon, and monsoon is unpredictable. Okay, so Indian farmers have their issue, government is doing so much, still government have their own issues, and marketing is a very big issue. Like, I have sowed a crop, now I harvested the crop, now I got the crop in my hands. This is agriculture produce, this is food. Hardly it will stay like 3 or 4 days. Food items will perish, na? So I have to urgently take this to market and sell those items before they are perishing. Okay? Or I shall keep it in a cold storage so that it will stay for a longer time. This is the nature of the agricultural, because they are food items, they are biodegradable items. But the markets in India are very less. The number of markets in a given area in India, density is very less. And we don't have proper infrastructure like cold storage. Farmers does not have this access to keep items. And because there are less markets, let's say I am a farmer, I have harvested some crop, I have sowed onions and I got onions. Now let's say, for example, I have to sell these onions within 1 week. Onions will stay, but example I'm saying, let's say tomato, let's say it will perish in 1 week. I have to sell this tomato within 1 week. Now there is a market 3 days away from me, some distance in district headquarters, I have to sell this in 3 days. I will take there after 3 days, he will say this quality is bad, I will not buy. So the middle people are the people who are buying in the market, they are having so much power. If market is nearby, items are fresh, so people will accept the rate I am demanding. But because markets are far away, farmers are not getting enough rates. The people on the other side, middlemen, brokers, or the people who are buying at the market, they are having the power to control. So they are saying, I will buy at this rate, either you sell or you leave. You can see incidents of people throwing just items in the market itself, because they will say it will cost like 5 rupees to raise the crop for, let's say 1 kg of tomato. When they go to market, they will offer 2 rupees per kg. I have invested 5 rupees per kg, how can you give me 2 rupees? So people will get frustrated and they will throw all the items in the market and they will come back. So because of lack of proper markets, proper roads, proper equipments, proper cold storage, etc., India is seeing lot of food wastage. So agricultural part, government is helping, government is doing so much, but this marketing is very weak. So marketing, you can call it distribution. Now concurrently says distribution of any items including food items is under concurrent list. So union government want to act on it. Union government wanted to do something marketization, like giving more powers to private players. Like if you privatize something, they will bring the capital, they will build new markets. Okay, there will be like capitalist system. Till now what system is going on is more like socialist system. But government wants to do more privatization, bring more private players, bring more markets through private capital. Government does not have money to invest. So government wants to bring more private players. So government has made some laws called farm laws. Okay, using this power given in the concurrent list, which is saying distribution of any items including food items is under concurrent list. Using that power, government has made 3 laws. Union government, not state governments. Okay, farmers produce, and no need to read the laws, now they are repealed. Government has made 3 laws in 2020. Okay, 4 years back. But farmers protested against these 3 laws. They have protested very severely. Okay, and many state governments also saying you are only confined to distribution, but many of these laws also deals with agriculture. So there was severe opposition to these 3 farm laws. in 2020, especially when COVID going on, for almost 1 year farmers have protested. And ultimately government has repealed these laws. Union government has ultimately removed these laws. Okay, these 3 laws I am taking back. I am appointing another committee. Now let's see what we can do. So government tried to negotiate with the farmers. Government appointed some committee, but till now no result came. Okay, nothing happened after that. Okay, laws were repealed, but nothing happened. No farmer demands were met. So now farmers came to streets again. Now they have waited for 2 years. Now they came back to streets. Now they have more number of demands. Just Google and you see there are almost 12 demands. Okay, 12 demands of farmers. Because in this limited time 3 hours I cannot just explain everything. Okay, farmers have put 12 demands to the government, and I don't think all of those demands are practical, like come out of World Trade Organization. Farmers are asking government to come out of World Trade Organization. We cannot do that. So they have put some 12 demands, and right now agitation is going on, and there is also case going on in Supreme Court. Okay, so it is a running issue. We have to see what will happen in future, what government will do. Okay, this is the background. And then, so so this is Bangladesh, this is India, Tripura, okay, Mizoram, Assam, West Bengal. So we have seen in 1971 there is a war started, and in 1972 Bangladesh became independent. Okay, with the help of India, Bangladesh became independent from the rest of the Pakistan. Now Bangladesh became independent. At that time there was a Mujibur Rahman. Okay, her name is Sheikh Hasina. She was the prime minister till few months ago. Now she is not. Okay, her father Mujibur Rahman was the prime minister of Bangladesh after this war. Okay, he won the election. East Pakistan did not accept, so they got separated, and he became the prime minister of Bangladesh. Then all the people who fought in this freedom struggle of Bangladesh from Pakistan in 1972, this is the freedom struggle for them. For us it is 1947, but for them 1 and 2, another freedom struggle. This is, so they are celebrating as freedom struggle, and they have given some reservations, some quota to the people who have fought in this war and their children and relatives. So there is a reservation issue, job quota, related to their independence struggle, and when it started in 1972. Now we are living in 2024. Okay, almost 50 years have crossed. Okay, so few years back, almost 10 years back, they have stopped these reservations already, because it was too much time. Now generations have passed, their children, grandchildren also passed, so government has removed it. But now again government started to bring this quota back, just to favor some sections. Her government tried to bring this quota back. Now students are very agitated, because there is already very high unemployment in Bangladesh, very high unemployment, and even the whatever employment it has, it is of less quality. Okay, so people are already frustrated. Now you are trying to bring some additional reservations which are meaningless now, because freedom struggle happened long ago. If you see Indian government giving reservations to some sons or grandsons of freedom struggle, how do you see it? It happened like 75 years ago. What is the relevance now? We will ask the same question. So they have asked the same question. But in this, students started demanding her resignation, and she is not backing off. Small issue. It started from job quota. She would have easily said, no, I will not do it. Okay, I am accepting. It is a small issue, but maybe opposition parties have taken advantage. Suddenly whole country started protesting against her, and suddenly people started coming into her official house, official government residency. So immediately she resigned and ran from Bangladesh. So within few days she was Prime Minister of Bangladesh. No big issues happening, regular issues, unemployment, etc. But because of students' protests in Bangladesh, now government got toppled. When Prime Minister resigns, whole system collapses. And for her safety, she came to India immediately. She fled to India. Now some interim government was there in Bangladesh, no elected government, some interim government is happening. So this is the recent events happened in Bangladesh. So Bangladesh does not have elected government right now. So is Myanmar also. All of our neighbors more or less have issues. Okay. Sri Lanka only just now settling. So in Bangladesh, no elected government. The previous Prime Minister of Bangladesh is in India for her safety. Now whatever the interim government is there in Bangladesh, they are asking, she has committed many crimes as Prime Minister. So please send her back. Bangladesh is formally asking India, please send Sheikh Hasina back to India. This is called extradition. When a person who is accused of criminal things, just to escape the punishment, travels to another country, okay, he is called fugitive. Okay, he is called fugitive. If it is proved, conviction is proved, it is called fugitive. Her conviction is not yet proved. It is an allegation. When allegation is proved, they are called fugitives who are escaping from one country to another country, because every country will have their own rules. If a Chinese person coming from China to India and he has done something wrong there, China will ask whether we give it or not. How do we know China is telling us the truth? We don't know. Okay. If an Indian done something in India and gone to some other country like Saudi Arabia, what will we do? We will ask him, like Nirav Modi, okay, Vijay Mallya, they have done something wrong in India and they have travelled to another countries. Now we are asking to extradite them. It is called extradition, bringing them back. Okay. So Bangladesh is asking extradition of Sheikh Hasina. Now the dilemma before India, do we extradite her or not? Is it a good thing or bad thing? Okay. So we have some treaty also with Bangladesh called India-Bangladesh Extradition Treaty, because Bangladesh is very close to our northeast. Okay, very close to our northeast. And in northeast we have seen there are so many insurgency movements. Nagas are fighting for something. This Kuki and Mete people are fighting. Northeast is full of tribal conflicts. So northeast is very sensitive. Similar border issues exist in Bangladesh also, and there is infiltration also between India and Bangladesh. There is always infiltration from Bangladesh to Assam and West Bengal. So there are multiple issues happening right now. People are traveling from here to here, especially criminals, terrorists. So to stop this, we have made an extradition treaty with Bangladesh in 2013. So now Bangladesh is asking, please send Ms. Sheikh Hasina under this treaty. But she is not convicted. It is just another politician making allegation against another politician. So this treaty is also not binding. It only says, how can we do this extradition? Process only it will say. It does not say mandatorily one has to give. Okay, so now Indian government is seeing this is also a running issue. We have to see what Indian government will do. Okay, because India had a good relations with Bangladesh till she was Prime Minister, and there were also now she has enough supporters in Bangladesh even now. If you extradite her blindly now and tomorrow if she becomes Prime Minister again, obviously relations between India and Bangladesh will worsen. Okay, so these things needs to be dealt carefully. What is the time? Can you tell me the time? 9:46. Okay. So parliamentary disruptions. There was a news article saying that, okay, there was an editorial saying that in India we have a parliament. What is the role of parliament? To discuss, okay, deliberate, okay, issues and to pass laws on that. Okay. Ideally the role is to have a rational discussion, diverse discussions, taking feedback from multiple stakeholders and make laws that are beneficial for the country. That is the role of the parliament. But the reality is that parties are taking revenge on each other. Ruling party is not listening to the opposition party. We have the numbers, why should we listen to you? They may be giving proper feedback, but ruling government will not listen to opposition party. Opposition party just want to trouble ruling party. So whatever ruling party is saying, they are not listening. They are just shouting and going to the speaker, etc. These are called disruptions. That means they are doing something which is not letting parliament to do its main work. Okay. So these are called parliamentary disruptions. Like a person going to the speaker and just shouting. Nobody is able to hear what other people are saying. Nobody is able to hear what speaker is saying. Okay. These are called parliamentary disruptions, and the number of disruptions are increasing. And at the same time, number of sittings are decreasing. So this editorial, I forgot to add the editorial. This editorial is saying quality of Indian Parliament is decreasing. On one side, you are sitting for less number of days. If you see UK or Canada, these countries are more or less like India, they have their own parliaments. In a year, we have 365 days. Out of 365 days, they are sitting 150, at least 150 days, plus or minus. So, almost half of the year, they are taking care of passing laws, okay, making laws for the country. But if you see India, right now 18th Lok Sabha is going on. Just in 2024, 18th Lok Sabha got elected. If you see the 17th Lok Sabha, average is somewhere around 55 days per year. So they are not deliberating enough. First of all, they are not sitting enough. They are not coming to parliament for enough days. And even in the days they are coming, they are making noise only. So the output is very less quality. So this will be not a good thing for the country. That is the summary of the article. Okay. And this is the news. What is the static thing you should know? Static thing you should know is that there are 3 sessions usual in the country. This is how tradition got developed, which we have adopted from the British. We usually meet, all the parliamentarians meet 3 times in the year. The first group of meet from this day to this day is called budget session. It is called budget session because they will meet to pass budget and discuss on it. Okay. Usually it will start on 31st Jan nowadays. Okay, 31st January. So right now we are on 5th or 6th Jan. So this month end they will start this budget session and it will go on for next few months. Okay, till almost March, April it will go as per the requirement. Okay, this is called budget session. Then they will take some gap, May, June. Then in July they will start something called monsoon session. It is called monsoon session because it is the same time monsoon. Okay, southwest monsoon will come across the country. It is called monsoon session. So it is from July, August, September roughly. And again some October, November they will take some break. Okay. Then they will conduct winter session. Winter session. It starts around November, December. Okay. Okay. October, November, December. Okay. So there will be at least 1 month break. Okay. So roughly 3 times per year in 3 different sessions in a year, all the parliamentarians will meet. Okay. And they will do this legislative business of passing laws, discussions, etc. Okay. And how the day-to-day business occur in parliament? This is how. They will start at 11 a.m. both Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. So if I am a Lok Sabha member, this is how I experience. I am supposed to be there at 11 a.m. At 11 a.m. to 12, it is called question hour. What is the main business of the Lok Sabha? To discuss issues that will be taken in the afternoon. So morning will be questions like, I am a ruling party minister. Any opposition party member can stand up and ask me questions. Okay. Then it is called 0 hour. These questions are like, they can ask any question. Sorry, they are supposed to give prior intimation. Whatever the first hour, question hour is called, they have to give some intimation like 10 days before they should write to the speaker, sir, I want to ask this question and I want to know the answer. So they will give it in written to the speaker. Speaker will keep all the papers with him. He will inform the minister. So when question hour starts, he will read, okay, Mr. Shashidharur, you wanted to ask this question, you ask. So Shashidharur asks and minister will answer. Okay. So this is question hour in which questions are already decided beforehand. They should be submitted to the speaker beforehand. Without the permission of speaker, you cannot ask question in this. It will go from 11 to 12. Okay. 12 like it is seen as 0 in clock. So for next 1 hour it is called 0 hour. In this, if there is anything happening in the country, like farm protests are happening right now. I am an opposition MP, something happened, government is not giving any response to the farmers. So I am worried about that. But I have not given due intimation. So I could not ask that in question hour. Now can I ask? In 0 hour for the next 1 hour I can ask. Sir, there are protests going on. Why are you not talking to them? There is something happening in Kerala. Why you are not acting on it? Manipur is burning. Why Prime Minister is not going there? So people can ask, MPs can ask questions like this uninformed. They don't have to inform in advance to the speaker. But in question hour, they have to inform. Okay, here they can ask normally 0 hours. Here issues related to the general public. Then they will go for lunch 1 hour. Okay, afternoon they will conduct this legislative business. Okay, discussions, deliberations, passing laws, etc. And Indian system, there is no mandatory need for experts. So you see, politician, anybody can be a politician. Usually politicians are not well educated. That is why UPSC is recruiting well administrator, okay, good administrators. But see, because MPs and MLAs are not mandated to get enough education, if there is an issue which warrants closer look, like now I want to implement UCC. Now I know with common sense, it is a very controversial issue. It is having advantages and disadvantages. So blindly I cannot do that. So I will appoint a committee. It is called parliamentary committee. Okay. Then this NTA issue. Now some person has asked something, NTA is not working, some person has raised the question. Now we want to pass another act to reform NTA. But what should be the content of that act? So to determine this, I will appoint a committee of parliament. So committees are an integral part of parliament. You will read in polity, okay, parliamentary committees, etc. So appointing committee is also very important. Appointing committee is very important thing, especially issue is complex, because politicians are not well educated, not very knowledgeable. Appointing committee is a good thing. That means you are taking your own time to understand the issues, and the output will be very high quality. If you just rush the legislation, no discussion, no committees, some person proposed, gave me a draft and everyone is just accepting it, output is very poor quality. Okay, so appointing committee is also good practice. In this article, author is also saying government is not even appointing committees also, even for important legislations. So government should have been more careful. It should listen to the opposition. Opposition should cooperate to the main ruling party. Both of you should understand you are doing this for the country, and the role of the parliament is to deliberate and pass laws, not to do politics inside the house. That is the summary of this article. Okay. So Panama Treaty, it was in news. So there is a treaty called Panama Treaty between USA, America, and a small country called Panama in Central America. So Donald Trump, the upcoming president of USA, had made some comments about this Panama Treaty, so it was in news. So firstly, let me tell you the background. So this is the Atlantic Ocean, this is the Pacific Ocean. Here if you see the natural geography, this is a continuous land, there is no gap, there is a continuous land. This is Central America, zooming this part is this, there is continuous land. So if I want to send something from Atlantic Ocean to this west coast of America, this Pacific coast, I have to go all this way. Imagine 15th century, you are like Columbus, you are saying this is a continuous land. Now you have ship, how do you go? Either you have to stop your ship here, cross the land, or you have to go all this way here. Okay, so this is a very long route. Just I want to go from here to here, I have to take all this way. I have to go from here to here, I have to take all this way. So very long, inefficient route. So people started looking for shortcuts. See the structure now. If you want to cut the land, which is the best position here in this whole structure? Where the land is the smallest, narrowest. So where is the narrowest? In Central America. See, zooming the map, where it is the smallest? Here it is the smallest. So there was always a discussion in the past 400-500 years to cut the smallest part in the Central America, which is in middle of the country called Panama. Okay, so there was a proposal. Many countries tried to do it. British tried to do it, but it is not easy to cut the entire land, okay, and to make way for ocean. So many countries wanted to do it, but they could not do it. Colombia wanted to do it, British wanted to do it, but ultimately in 1904, I think, okay, USA took over the project. Okay, I will do it. You countries stop trying, now I will do it. So US is well advanced by that time, and they have made some engineering changes to it, and they have finally implemented a canal. Okay, it is called Panama Canal. So now countries don't have to travel all the way through it. Now there is a shortcut. Ship has to come, they will open the gates through Panama Canal, and countries just can pass like this. It is most beneficial to USA only, that is why they did it. If they want to travel from their east coast to west coast, they have to go all this way. That is why USA personally very involved in this. Okay. So because USA made this Panama Canal, they were given some rights. Okay. So from 1914, USA used to operate it. It is in the country of Panama, but the control over the Panama Canal is in US hands. Obviously, it will be criticized in future. So Britishers are here. Whatever they are doing, someday we will wake up and say, this is our land, please go. So someday Panama people started realizing there are outsiders inside our land earning revenue from our land. Okay, you have constructed this gate, okay, we are thankful for you, but you have already operated for like 50-60 years, you have gained so much. Now there is a pathway, you can go, but give the sovereignty over this canal to us. So Panama people started demanding it. So there was some issues between USA and Panama for so many years, and they settled the issue with a treaty. Okay, in 1977, it is called Panama Treaty. Okay. So USA built this Panama Canal, and they have operated from 1914 continuously, and in 1977 they have made treaty and they told Panama just wait till 1999. In 1999 I will give you back this Panama Canal. Now completely it is yours. Okay. So in 1991 31st December Panama Canal was handed over by USA to Panama. Now it is with the country of Panama. So this Panama country is charging what are the ships path, because maintenance of canal will take some money. They will have to pump so much water, and usually they will face droughts also, because there will be not enough water to move ships. They will bring the water from surrounding lakes. They will occasionally face droughts also here. So because of the local conditions, whenever a ship passes, they will charge some money to maintain this canal. If there is less water, premium will be higher, fee will be higher. If there is enough water, premium will be normal. So in the past few years, Panama is increasing the payment for the ships, all the ships. And which ships pass through this lane more, US ships will pass more. So US is frustrated. You are year by year increasing this fee on this canal. I have built this canal, and out of respect for you, I have given you back this canal. But now you are slowly increasing fee. Panama is saying there is nothing I am doing, it is just a supply and demand. When there is less water, I have to increase to maintain it properly. Okay, so Donald Trump said, I will take this Panama Canal back. It will not happen. He is just saying intention. How can you take some part which is a part of different country back to you? Okay, so that is why this issue is in news, Panama Canal. Okay. Then another thing. So this is continent of Africa. So we all know in 17th and 18th centuries, all the European powers started to colonize across the world, all the eastern countries, Asia, Africa, etc. So these are some countries in Africa which France, okay, France colonized. So these are countries like Burkina Faso, Ivory Coast, okay, Cameroon, Gabon, Congo, etc. Okay, you can see all these countries individually later. So some countries in Africa, okay, this is called Sahara region. So this region is called Sahara region. This region is called Sahel. This red one is called Sahara desert, because of the Sahara desert. Okay, and this yellow one is called Sahel. So this is grassland, savanna grassland, you must have heard in geography, savanna. And this is Sahara. So between Sahara and savanna grasslands, there is a semi-arid region. This is fully arid desert, and this is grassland. It has some greenery. So as a transition between these two, they have semi-arid region. Some small trees at a distance. It is called Sahel region. Okay. And so in this Sahara and Sahel region, France has historically colonized all these countries. In the same way, British have left one country after another. France also given independence to one country after another in this region also, because ultimately people woke up and started freedom movements. Same thing happened here. But then in this region, terrorism started increasing. You can see Islam is getting more radicalized in Africa also these days. Okay, so terrorist movement started here, people becoming more radical, and unlike the case with India, these France people never left completely. Like Britishers have completely left India. Now Britishers have no influence in India. We are not listening to Britishers anymore. We are doing whatever we want. But it is not like that. France is still having so much influence here. They are telling these people what to do. Okay, so from behind the doors, France is trying to influence all these countries always. And when there is increase in terrorism, France started sending military people here, using its influence. So there was some operations doing, France is doing in this region. This is the background. But even France is doing this for decades, anti-terror operations. Still terrorism is on rise. People are getting radicalized. Children are getting kidnapped, etc. France is not able to change the region. So again, one country after another, this time permanently kicking France out of the region. Few months back, there is a country called Burkina Faso. It said, "Dear France, leave us completely. Don't even influence us behind the doors. Completely leave the region." Now there is another country saying, Ivory Coast, okay, Côte d'Ivoire. So this country also saying, "Please France, leave this region, go away." So this is like hard time for France because it is losing its influence on African countries. Okay, so it is something to do with colonialism, world history, okay, and geography. So why it is in news? Because Ivory Coast demanded complete removal of France, which is France is doing now, right now. Okay. Taiwan issue. So some countries are trying to get closer to Taiwan and China is becoming angry. So why this is happening? So this is also part of world history. Okay, you can also see from the perspective of geography. So China is a party to World War II. This Taiwan is a part of China historically. Okay, sometimes this Taiwan small region here, see, this is called Taiwan small region here. This is Japan, South Korea, Taiwan, Philippines. Okay, so this Taiwan mostly part of China, sometimes occupied by Japan, again back to China, and sometimes occupied by Japan. This like history has gone. When World War II ended, Japan has lost, China got complete control over Taiwan. China is one of the supporters of Britain, France and USA. Okay, so China is on the winning side, so it got Taiwan with it. And at that time there was some traditional kings ruling. They are called nationalist people. Okay, I mean they are the traditional China ruling kings. Okay, traditional China ruling dynasty, they are usually called nationalist. Why they are called nationalist? Because there is a rising trend influenced by the Russian communism, Russian socialism. So in China, two gangs started to operate. One is communist, another one is traditional nationalist. So yesterday I told you Karl Marx gave some theory in 1848 and many people are influenced by it. In the middle of World War I, there was a revolution in Russia in 1917, in Soviet Russia. So Russia became socialist in 1917. Now in China, some people are trying to make China communist or socialist. Right after World War II, Taiwan got back as a part of China. Now these people started waging a war. It is a civil war, internal war. World War II done. Now in China, communists and nationalists are fighting. These people are trying to make China a communist country. These people are trying to keep as a traditional country, not a communist country. This movement was led by, anybody know the name? Mao Zedong. Have you heard of Maoists? Who are Maoists? Naxalites are also called Maoists. Why they are called Maoists? Why they are called Naxalites? So this influence of Karl Marx you can see in many places of the world. So there are some people in India also who are inspired by Karl Marx, inspired by his theory of communism, socialism. So they wanted to establish a egalitarian, equality society. So they are seeing all this injustice etc. happening to some rural farmers etc. In 1967, there is a place called Naxal Bari in West Bengal. The name of the place is Naxal Bari. Some people started revolting against the landlords, local police. Till now they have taken. All the poor farmers get oppressed. They are taking all this discrimination, oppression from the landlords etc. But inspired from this Karl Marx and the later communist leaders, now they started revolting. So in 1967, there was a revolt started in Naxal Bari region of West Bengal. So it is called Naxalist movement, okay, Naxalism. From there it spread to many states like Chhattisgarh, Andhra Pradesh, okay, Odisha, etc. So the Naxalism you are seeing right now have origins in Naxal Bari village in West Bengal. That is why it is called Naxalism, and all the people who are involved in are called Naxalites. The same people also inspired from Mao Zedong. Now Mao Zedong added something to whatever Karl Marx also said. Karl Marx said, if it needs to be done, you have to kill the rich people. You have to fight against the bourgeoisie or rich people. Because you have to establish equal society, and rich people will never do it intentionally. They will never allow it voluntarily. They always do schemes after schemes after schemes to manipulate poor people, to keep them poor forever. So poor people has to be united, gain the consciousness and take control from the rich people. This is the theory of Karl Marx. Now Mao Zedong adds one line to the theory of Karl Marx. He says, power flows from the barrel of the gun. That is the only way. If you want to make other person listen to you, there is only one way. Put a gun on his head. So he says, violence is the only way. This is the belief of Mao Zedong. So he does not mind using violence. What is happening in India right now? Just in more or less in similar time, Gandhi is preaching non-violence in India. Here there is a person saying violence is the only way. On the other side of the border, there is a person saying non-violence is the only way. Okay, see the difference. So Mao Zedong believes in the violence. So he says rich people, powerful people will never do anything good voluntarily. So people has to revolt. They have no choice. To change the society, ordinary people has to revolt. And these people got influenced by this theory also. They have resorted to violence. Their activities are always violent. They will not come before parliament and protest. They will not do it like farmers are doing right now. They will hide in the trees, forests. When police personnel or MLAs, MPs cross over them, they will try to kill them. So to achieve their goals, they are resorting to violence. Okay. So because they are inspired by Mao Zedong also, they are also called Maoists. So Maoist, Naxalite, everything is same. So this Mao Zedong is the communist leader of China, and by the time of 1949, he took complete control of China. Immediately after World War II, he started taking control of one region after one region using his followers. By the time of 1949, now China completely became a communist country. So these nationalists are losing in the hands of communists. So all these traditional rulers who are nationalists, what they will do? They have ran to Taiwan. They just ran away. Just like Sheikh Hasina ran away from Bangladesh. When these people occupied this mainland China, they ran from there to Taiwan. And they have settled in Taiwan. Now you have communists taking over the full China, nationalist people who are more closer to Western countries in Taiwan, and China mainland communist closer to Russia. This was the situation in 1949, and it stopped like that. Even today it is like that. So people in Taiwan more like pro-democratic people, more closer to Western countries. People in mainland China are communist, okay, closer to Russia. Till day it is the same situation. Now the question is Taiwan a part of China or not? These leaders of Taiwan says, I am the actual leader. They have taken over our country illegally. In fact, this whole country is under my control. Taiwan is a real China, and this China is mine. And this China ruling party, which is now headed by Xi Jinping, he says this whole China is mine and it includes Taiwan. There is only one China. There is no two Chinas. Taiwan is not separate country. Taiwan is part of China. It is mine. It is mine. Who people will listen to whom? People will obviously listen to the powerful person. Okay, so officially every country including America, India, everyone agrees there is only one China. We are listening to this communist part of China. We are accepting Taiwan as an integral part of China. Otherwise China will be very harsh on us. But informally, just to rile up China, countries like America tries to maintain relation with Taiwan also. Okay, so whenever Taiwan tries to get closer to any other country, China will send some military ships, will try to threaten Taiwan. Okay, this is also always burning issue, always in news. Okay, it may happen in future. You may see China attacking Taiwan like Russia attacked Ukraine right now. Same like Ukraine was a part of Soviet Russia, Taiwan was a part of China. Now future we have to see what will happen. So this is the issue of one China. Okay. Pakistan as United Security Council non-permanent member. So we have UN, United Nations. So we have organization United Nations. It was established in 1945, and for a particular purpose it establishes a particular institution. It have like 6 institutions. Okay, for normal discussions it has United Nations General Assembly to deal with security issues of the world. Like, and right now Russia-Ukraine war is going on. Russia itself is involved, which is a permanent member of Security Council. Otherwise Russia is supposed to take care of security of the world. So in 1945 UN established, it established something called UN General Assembly for normal discussions among all the countries. In these discussions all countries are same, smaller or bigger, every country is same. Then they have established something called Security Council, security, to deal with the peace and security issues in the world. Now who are the members of the Security Council? These countries who have won the World War II. Which countries have won the World War II? France, Russia, UK, US. China at the time supporting same countries. So these 5 countries are the winning side of the war. Which countries are on the losing side of the war? Germany, Italy, Japan. These countries are the ruling side of the war. So obviously the people who won the war make the rules. Just now World War II finished, USA dropped some atomic bombs on the Japan, and Russia, China, Russia, America became 2 powerful countries in the world. Okay, so these 5 countries said we will take care of the security of the world. So they have made themselves permanent members of this United Nations Security Council. There is a Security Council which is supposed to take care of the peace and security of the world, and now we are making ourselves permanent members. Nobody has the courage to raise the voice at that time because they have just won the war. India is still under British occupation. So they said if UK is represented, that means India is represented. They will say if you ask. So no country raised voice at that time. Nobody has the courage to raise the voice at that time. They just won a world war. So there are 5 permanent members. Then they have given chance for 10 non-permanent members. These are non-permanent members. They will be elected for every 2 years. After 2 years, that country will come out of the Security Council. Another country will enter the Security Council. Okay. So these 10 countries are rotated. Last year it may be India. This year it is Pakistan. After another 2 years it may be some other country. Okay. Sri Lanka or some other country. But these 5 are permanent forever. And they have something called veto. These permanent countries have some unique power called veto, which these temporary countries does not have, non-permanent countries does not have. Veto means if they say no, Security Council cannot do this. Why all the world powers are not attacking Russia right now? Because Russia itself is a UNSC security member, it says no. If I put a resolution in Security Council, we all shall attack Russia. Russia will say no. So they have this veto power, they can say no. If even one country says no, these all the remaining countries cannot implement it. So it is a illogical kind of institution. It only made sense right after World War II. Now it is making no sense. So India is strongly demanding. I am like the world's most populous country. Now I am one of the most economically powerful country. And you are saying I don't have permanent representation. UK is a very small country. India GDP is already more than UK. UK population is like even less than 1/20th of India. Tell me why UK should be in this list and why India cannot be in this list. So now India started asking questions. China is not asking because China is already in that. Okay, so there was a debate like this also. Now China is on the winning side. There was one permanent seat for China, but shall it be given to this or this? So there is a debate. Ultimately it given to the communist China. Okay. So now India is strongly demanding, along with Germany, okay, Italy, some countries like this, Germany, Brazil, Japan. India, Germany, Brazil, Japan, these are called G4 countries, and they are strongly demanding permanent membership in UNSC. Okay, that is a different topic anyway. So now the news is Pakistan was elected as a UN non-permanent member, okay, and it will stay there for the next 2 years. Okay. So if Pakistan is in Security Council, it is a difficult time for India. Okay. So there are total 15 seats in Security Council, 5 of them are fixed, permanent, and remaining 10 they will give quotas to different continent. 2 countries from South America, 2 countries from Africa, 2 countries from Asia. Okay, like that. Then they will rotate. If this year it is India, next year it is Pakistan, next year it is Sri Lanka. Okay. So these are 2 organizations of UN. There are other organizations also. UN Secretariat, International Court of Justice, etc. Okay. 20 years of Quad. So there is another news. There is an organization called Quad, and it celebrated 20 years recently. Okay. So what is Quad? Quad, in the name itself it is showing 4, number 4. What is 4? So if you remember in 2006, we have seen, in 2004, sorry, December 26, 2004, we have seen a huge tsunami. Okay, just 20 years finished very recently. So during this tsunami, which occurred in this region, it affected the whole Indo-Pacific Ocean, okay, Indian Ocean and this Pacific Ocean, this part. So during this time, India, Australia, Japan and America coordinated relief efforts, humanitarian relief efforts during a disaster. At that time they have realized that we have something very common in this. We have a very natural advantage to coordinate with each other. So both have access to single ocean, which is called Indo-Pacific. This is Indian Ocean, this is Pacific Ocean. If you make it a single thing, it is called Indo-Pacific. So we have something called Indo-Pacific common to all of us, and it can be used for advantage. And there came a problem. Now the country of China is rising. At the time of independence or at the time of World War II, India, China more or less same countries. China is small, slightly bigger, but GDP wise, economy wise, development wise, India, China both are same. The only difference is that after Mao Zedong in 1949, another leader came, okay, Deng Xiaoping. Okay, his name is Deng Xiaoping. He came in 1978. So this Mao Zedong fought hard for a communist country and he won a communist country. This Deng Xiaoping, he is saying, sir, communist theory is fine, but he is seeing the world, capitalism is winning. Parallelly, Cold War is going on between Western countries and Eastern countries, and American bloc is slowly winning, USSR is slowly losing. China is watching this. Russia, Soviet Russia is losing war. So there is a need for rectification in our communist system. So what he did? Economic system. He almost changed it into capitalist. The core of the communism is economic system. Karl Marx says everything is related to economy. Everything is about money. If you make economic communist thing, everything else will become communist. But here he is saying I am a communist country, but he is doing the exact opposite. Economic system he made capitalist. He made some reforms in 1978 itself. We did LPG reforms in 1991. That is why India is comparatively backward right now. So China had some 13-15 years head start. Okay, it started reforms in advance and it is reaping benefits right now. In remaining spheres like political, like we will not go for democracy, we will continue with communism. So they will not give ordinary people to elect leaders like us. Communist party leaders will assemble and they will elect their own leader. So in political sphere, all other spheres, I will be remaining a communist country. But in economic sphere, I want to become capitalism because it is the winning side in the world. So in 1978, China has made some fundamental changes and it has given him its benefits. Its GDP started growing like anything. And by the time of 2010, China became a very powerful country. China is right now second highest country with GDP. First is USA, second is China. China overcame Japan, China overcame UK, Germany, all other countries. Now China is second. America and second richest country is China. Okay. So China started rising here and China is not behaving decently with India and other countries. China has problems with Japan, China has problems with India, China has problems with Australia, China is having problems with USA. So we four have problem with China and we four have a natural advantage in the form of Indo-Pacific. So why not we form something on two of these issues? On one side we will coordinate in all the other things like humanitarian efforts, etc., development, economy, etc. The same thing can be used to counter China. Okay. China is also very aggressive in this region. If you see the Chinese foreign policy right now, there is something called 9-dash line here. Okay. So these are Southeast countries. This is Philippines, this is Vietnam, okay, this is Malaysia, Brunei, etc. So what China is doing, if there is a small island here, see the region, China is far away here, here it is Philippines, there is a small island just adjacent to Philippines, there is a small island just adjacent to Vietnam. China is saying this island is mine. It is 20 kilometers from Vietnam, 2000 kilometers from China, but China is saying that island is mine. Sir, why that is yours? Some 1000 years back, one king from China controlled it. That is the argument given by China. Historically, it is a part of China, so it is a part of China. But what is the actual reason? There are resources. If they get control of this island, they will get all the natural resources, petroleum, etc., modules, etc., in the ocean, fishing resources, etc. So, original reason is to gain control of these resources. China is using some historical arguments and showing its power. Now it is a powerful country having very powerful military. So it does not have to worry about the smaller countries like Philippines, Vietnam, etc. These countries are more peaceful countries. They prefer not to go to war. So these are peaceful countries. China is flexing its muscles. This is the region we are talking about, Indo-Pacific. So we are saying Indo-Pacific is becoming problematic because of China. China is not behaving good way with us and we have a natural advantage in Indo-Pacific. So we can do something about this and the result is Quad. Okay. So we have formed something called Quad in this, which are part India, Australia, Japan, USA. Okay. So this is called Quad. So it has multiple objectives. First of all, promoting free and open Indo-Pacific, okay, and countering China influence. Okay. So it was after 2004 it was established. Now we are in 2024-25. Okay. So 20 years roughly completed. So here you can connect with the geography, international relations, both. Okay. Financial stability report. Okay. So GS1 topics more or less completed, important topics. GS2. Now I am moving to GS paper 3, economy. Okay. So RBI, Reserve Bank of India, has released a report called Financial Stability Report. So who releases Financial Stability Report? It is RBI. Okay. So UPSC, these are the facts, some kind of facts UPSC will ask. UPSC will give some report and which country will ask, especially in environment. UPSC likes asking this type of questions in environment. We will not even hear about that report, but UPSC will ask this report is released by which organization. Okay. So these reports, indices, etc., I will say important from UPSC wise. So financial stability report within India, not at global level. Within India, RBI releases it. There may be some other organization with similar kind of report at global level. Within India, it is released by RBI. Okay. So there is a council called Financial Stability and Development Council. Okay. This is headed by Ministry of Finance. So to maintain stability in our economy, that is the role of this council. Based on the observations of this committee, RBI will release a report called Financial Stability Report. Okay. Rest all are facts. You can go into the report and you can read the facts. Okay. So they are saying debt to GDP ratio. That means how much we are producing as GDP, how much we are borrowing from outside. Okay. Debt to GDP. It is actually very higher for India, 62.7%. That means we are having 60% of loans of whatever we are producing. I am borrowing 60 rupees from outside and producing 100 rupees in India. Okay. This is just producing. Out of the 100 rupees I am producing, I have other expenses. Okay. So this is a very high debt to GDP ratio, and good thing is that it is reducing. This is high, too high, but the same report is saying it is a good thing. It is decreasing year after year. And they are saying Indian economy in this financial year will rise by 6.6%. This is a kind of disappointment, you can say, for the past 1-2 years, because we are habituated to 7%, 8% growth rates. China almost has touched 10 when it's in peak in 1990s. We have seen 8% growth rates, which is a very good thing. If India is growing 8%, it means it is the world's fastest growing country. But because of various reasons like COVID, etc., we started slowing down. This financial year, we are growing by 6.6%. Okay, you can quote this data in exam. Okay, if it is suitable. It also talks about some vulnerabilities India is facing. Okay, something's happening in the world like wars, etc., which is a bad thing for Indian economy. So you can say this is agriculture cum environment topic. So there is a committee called Genetic Engineering Appraisal Committee. So genetic engineering. What is genetic engineering? So we all have genes. We all have DNA material. Okay. Genes are DNA material. Now we have this technology, which is a subpart of biotechnology. Now we have this technology called genetic engineering, which we can modify genes, DNA of organisms. I see cotton, and cotton is susceptible to, let's say, some cotton is susceptible to some kind of insect. Some insect, let's say bullworm. Every time I am sowing cotton and this bullworm is attacking my cotton and I am taking losses. Then I observed in nature, there is a bacteria which is very harmful to bullworm, but it does not do anything to my cotton or me. So what I will do? I will take that particular DNA part of that bacteria which is killing that bollworm, and I will add to my cotton seed. So cut the DNA part of that bacteria, add that to this one. So it is called BT cotton. BT is the name of bacteria, Bacillus thuringiensis. So I am taking some part of some bacteria and I am adding it to my cotton, which is making my cotton free from the bullworm insect. Okay. So this is how, using genetic technology, I am protecting my crops. But what will happen to my cotton? Is it the same as before? There may be side effects. I am seeing only bullworm, but what happens to the output product? Cotton is non-food item. It's okay, leave it. What if I do the same thing for rice? Can I eat the rice with same level of safety as before? We cannot say. We have to do so much of research. And sometimes consequences will not come immediately. See, people are very excited about green revolution in India. So in 1960s, 70s, India was not able to produce enough food. See, 1960s, 70s is the time some conflicts is going with China and Pakistan, and Russia is supporting India, America is in support of Pakistan. This is the time. In the same time, we are not producing enough food for ourselves. We are having a food crisis. The only country that can help India is America at that time. America is having a surplus. So Indira Gandhi went to America and asked for grains. Keeping all issues aside, Indira Gandhi went there and asked for food. But America is very upset with India at that time because America is supporting Pakistan. So American president made an insulting remark to Indira Gandhi before everyone. Indira Gandhi got offended with the treatment she received in America. So when she came back, she was very determined to implement this green revolution in 1960s. By the time, again, it was an American scientist only, okay, Norman Borlaug, and he is implementing this new technology he found, hybrid, making hybrid plants, and he is implementing it in Mexico, etc., other countries. Now he was requested to come to India, and he implemented this technology with the help of Sir M.S. Swaminathan in India. So we have implemented this green revolution. It means take one product of higher quality, take another plant of higher quality, breed them, interbreed them, produce a hybrid version. No genetics involved, just natural, through natural methods we are producing a hybrid one, and we have implemented this green revolution. But to achieve this high output using this hybrid version, we need to put so much of water, so much of fertilizer. These are minimum requirements. The more you give input, the more output it gives. Traditional crop is like whatever the input you will give, it will give you lesser output only. But these hybrid versions are like, the more input you give me, the more output I will give you. So people started giving so much of fertilizer, so much of water. All the groundwater is getting exploited. And this green revolution mostly developed in Punjab, Haryana, UP, the regions where you are seeing right now in farm protests. Why farm protests are not happening here and happening in Punjab only? Because Punjab, Haryana, UP are the regions which have seen very successful green revolution. At that time they have got so much money. So much money. Everyone is earning so much out of this hybrid versions, pumping fertilizer, etc. But over the years now this fertilizer started polluting groundwater levels. Water starting getting exploited. Groundwater is evaporating. So new problems started coming in. Okay. Land becomes salinized. Like every year you pump, take out water, what will happen? Salt will get accumulated in the soil. And these people become very rich. Now they are habituated to benefits. So why Punjab farmers are coming? They are asking government should give minimum this amount to the my crop. They are saying something called MSP, minimum support price. Government should bring a law saying I will give this minimum amount to you every year. So they are asking some minimum amount from the government with legal guarantee. Okay. So anyway, there is a link between green revolutions and the side effects of the green revolution and whatever is happening in India right now. My point is here is that we thought something is good at the time, but the side effects of that incident we have seen only after 30-40 years. It took us some time to understand, and all the regions where green revolution was successful, number of cancer cases were severely raised. There was a train from Punjab to Gujarat, okay, Punjab to Rajasthan or Gujarat. It is called cancer train because all the people who got this cancer in Punjab where this green revolution was successful, they are going for treatment using the train where hospitals were good. Trains were marked as cancer trains. So that is the consequence of green revolution. You are using too much fertilizers. You are polluting your groundwater. You are exploiting your groundwater. Okay. Soil is getting deteriorated. You are sowing rice after rice after rice after rice. Same. Usually crops needs to be changed for a healthy soil, healthy ecosystem. But you are sowing same land, wheat after wheat, wheat after wheat, rice after rice after rice. Because I am getting more rice. Other crops are giving me lesser price. So environment is degraded, soil is degraded, groundwater is degraded, people health are getting deteriorated. All of these are side effects of green revolution, which we have realized only after 30-40 years. Now you are telling me there is a genetic engineering technology which is giving me some advantage. Now I am happy, but who will know what will happen after 30-40 years? First give me 100% assurance there are no side effects, then only I will implement. That is the reason you will not see any food items getting genetically engineered in India. In India, you will not see genetically engineered food items. You will only see cotton, because cotton is not a food item, it is something we wear. So it is okay. But there is a proposal to start GM mustard also, genetically modified mustard also. Okay, it is still in proposal. But in other countries, Western countries where technology is developed enough, you can see GM modified foods in America, etc. It is a common thing to sell GM foods in normal shops. Okay, so this is genetic engineering. So whenever you introduce a genetically modified entity, whether it is crop or animal, into the wild, it should be thoroughly studied. And whose responsibility it is to study? Genetic engineering appraisal. Appraisal means study. Appraisal committee. Okay. And it is a statutory body. That means in some act it was written, I will form this kind of organization. That is the meaning of statutory. And what is that act? Environment Protection Act. So government has passed an Environment Act. In that act it stated, I will form this genetically engineering modified appraisal committee. This committee will study all the genetically modified items before releasing it into the market. Okay. So why this is in the news? So government is asking whoever are the members of this committee, please declare where you are working in the past 10 years. Please declare your conflict of interest. I worked in some private company, some seed company. Now I resigned from that company. I joined in government. Now I became the member of this committee. The same company which I have worked in last 5 years, now it has made some genetically modified item. Now it is coming to me for approval. This is a conflict of interest. I have a bond, close bond with that company. I may not be neutral. So these are called conflicts of interest. Okay. So if anyone has such conflict of interest, government is telling them, please declare right now. If any company is coming to you and you have already worked in that company in the past, please declare. Okay. So this news is not important. News not at all relevant. Issue is relevant and this is static, not current affairs. Okay. Purchasing Managers Index. Okay. PMI Index. So we have 3 sectors. Okay. Primary sector or agriculture sector. Is red visible? Okay. Primary. Okay. Secondary sector. Okay. Which is more or less called manufacturing sector. Okay. Or industrial sector. Third one is services. Okay. We have 3 sectors: primary, secondary, tertiary. Now I want to track the growth. Okay. India is fine in services. We are not so bothered about services. And India has always been a primary economy base. Now we want to move from primary to secondary and tertiary. Where we are lagging? We are lagging here only. So the growth in secondary industry, the growth in manufacturing industry is very important for India. So we are so much focused on measuring how we are improving ourselves in secondary industry. So there are 2 ways usually in India growth in manufacturing sector is measured. One is PMI, Purchasing Managers Index, and the one is IIP, Index of Industrial Production. These are just 2 indices people will produce. IIP is government one. Government itself measures how much industrial activity is happening, how much manufacturing happening. If I produce 1000 refrigerators this year, next year I am supposed to produce more. That is the meaning of increase in GDP. That is the meaning of growth. So if I am producing 1000 refrigerators this year in India, next year I am supposed to produce 1100. Then I am experiencing growth. How will I know? I will conduct a survey and I will produce a report. In that report it says last year 1000, this year 1100. Okay. These are that kind of reports. They produce, they survey the manufacturing activity going on in the country. Okay. But the difference between this Purchasing Manufacturing Index and IIP is that this is private one. First of all, PMI is done by private organizations. Any organization can do it. There are some organizations in USA, they do PMI for whole world. There are some organizations in USA, they do PMI for US alone. There are some organizations who give special PMI for India and also for the whole country. There may be some organization which can give PMI for India only. Anybody can do it. That is what my point. This is official government index. Indian government does this Index of Industrial Production. And another one. This is in the name. See, Purchasing Managers Index. That means there will be some managers who are responsible for purchasing inputs. Now I am a manager of a company which is making manufacturing refrigerators. So I will buy some inputs, some plastic, some metal, okay, some electrical items to make the final product, my refrigerator. So all the items I am purchasing, those items these people will survey. So these people who are doing this PMI survey, they call me or they will send some email. Please answer this question. How many tons of metal you have bought last year? How many tons of metal you have bought this year? How many metals you are thinking you will buy next year? How many refrigerators you have made last year? How many refrigerators you are making this year? So they will ask me more about inputs, less about outputs. Okay, more about inputs they will ask. Based on inputs, they will understand the growth. They will estimate the growth. Here, government will measure the final output. Government will come. They will ask how many you made already done. Output. This is focused on input. This is focused on output. But both will measure growth only. This measures growth based on input. This measures growth on output. And this is done by private agencies. There are multiple PMI indices. There is only one IIP for India. Okay. So the PMI for India is made by an organization called S&P Global. Okay. This organization specifically makes one PMI for India and gives us the data. And companies use this data. Now I want to establish some company. I want to understand which sector is more beneficial. I will see S&P Global. Okay. Refrigerator sector is good. AC is bad. So I will not make AC. I will make refrigerators. Okay. So this data is useful for all the investors, etc. So just index to understand the activity going on in the economy. That's it. Two indices. One is government, one is private. Okay. This news is particularly about PMI because it was released. Okay. So the indices is like this. It will give some 50 point something. 50 is the break even. The PMI index, if it says it is 54 for India, if it is above 50, that means I have seen growth more than last year. If it is less than 50, let's say 47, my final index is 47. That means I did not grow, I have contracted. Last year I have produced 1000 refrigerators, this I have produced 900. But if the number is more than 50, last year I have produced 1000, this year I have produced more than 1000. Just a random number. They have put some random 50 as number. If the final index value is above 50, that means you have seen growth, improvement over the last year. If the final index value is less than 50, that means you did not grow, you have contracted. Okay. So this is given by S&P Global and it measures the inputs mostly. Okay, surveying the purchasing managers. It is available for both manufacturing and services. Okay. Usually our focus is on manufacturing, but this particular index is available for services also. Okay. Two separate indices. One is for manufacturing, one is for services. So IIP is currently not in news, but you can see about IIP frequently in news. Every month more or less government officially releases IIP. Okay. So in month of December how much industrial activity happened, in month of November how much industrial activity happened, this you will see in news. Facts are not important. Okay. Don't try to by heart how much activity happened in December, how much activity happened in November, not needed. Static, you just read and move on. Who releases the index? That is what important. Who releases the index? IIP. Some office under Ministry of Commerce. Okay. Some I think Office of Economic Advisor something. Okay. You just double check IIP. Okay. Next, diammonium phosphate special package. So we have seen government is giving so much support to the farmers in India. Okay. Like no tax on agriculture income, subsidies on fertilizers. Fertilizers are used as inputs for higher output, and occasionally in news we will see farm loan waivers. Whatever the loans farmers have taken before elections or after elections, usually government will give waivers. I am a farmer, I have taken 1 lakh loan from the bank. Now some party will promise, if you choose me, if you elect me, I will waive off your complete loan. So if I vote for that person, I don't have to pay my 1 lakh back. This is called farm loan waiver. It is also one of the demand in current ongoing protests. Okay. So farmers are given multiple benefits. Now this particular issue is related about fertilizer subsidy. So fertilizers are nothing but chemicals that are given as inputs to the crops. So in India, fertilizer usage is based on particular place and particular crop, based on where you are sowing your crop and based on which crop you are sowing, whether it is rice or wheat or some other item. Based on that, you will choose your fertilizer. Most utilized fertilizer in India is urea. Urea. Okay. And second most used is diammonium phosphate. And government gives some benefits to the farmers for using this fertilizer. Fertilizers are very costly usually, especially we are importing these fertilizers from other countries. So government supports farmers by giving some subsidies. So if urea actually costs, let's say I am a company manufacturing urea and it is costing me, for example, it is costing me 5,000 rupees per ton. Okay, ton means 100 kg. Some package, 100 kg package, it is costing me 5,000. So I will add my profit. I will add some 2,000 profit. So I will sell to the farmer for 7,000. But government wants to help farmer. Government thinks farmer cannot afford 7,000. So what government will say? Sir, you collect 5,000 only from farmer. This 2,000 I will give you. I am giving subsidy to the farmer. And on behalf of farmer, I will pay you this 2,000. This is called farm subsidy, fertilizer subsidy. Okay, understood? Some amount government will give. Like this, there is a subsidy for urea and there is also subsidy for diammonium phosphate. Okay. And for this diammonium phosphate, along with this, every package, this is per package. So for every 100 kg, government is giving 2,000. In addition to this, government will give some one-time subsidy also. One time means just before the start of agricultural season, I will give some 3,500 to the farmer. Just once. Rest subsidy depending on how much he is buying. If he is buying 10 packets of urea, he will get 10 into 2,000. If he is buying only 5, he will get 5 into 2,000. But this is common and one time for all of us. So in subsidy there are two types. One is this every packet sales based, one is one time. Okay. So government news is nothing, just government extended this one. Last year it said it will expire on 31st December 2024. Now it is saying another one more year, or till I say otherwise it will get extended. So news is nothing, just this fertilizer subsidy got extended. Okay. If you want to read for more for mains, you can see how this fertilizer subsidy is impacting Indian economy. Like too much import bill. Now war is going on, fertilizer price is rising. Okay. And companies are also not very comfortable with this arrangement. Sir, you are fixing it at 2,000, but my amount is not fixed. I am importing some fertilizer from other country and there are many factors that are changing my price. You are saying 2,000 subsidy fixed, but tomorrow my price may become 8,000. I want to sell at this price, but you are not allowing me to sell. You are saying take 5,000 from farmer, 2,000 from me. Government is capping the price. So companies are also uncomfortable with this setup. See, that means when you are importing, it is indirectly related to rupee dollar exchange value. Economy done na? Economy done na for you? Okay. So foreign exchange, when you are importing something, other countries want dollars, other countries will not take rupees. You have to pay dollars. If you see, if you are reading papers right now, rupee is deteriorating like anything these days. Some 10-20 years back, if somebody gives you $1, you are supposed to pay them 60 rupees. But right now it is around some 86, 87. Okay. So this is called deterioration of rupee. Rupee value is falling. For every dollar you are supposed to pay more number of rupees. Okay. There are many reasons why it will happen. But see, you are a Indian fertilizer company. You are buying some inputs from other countries. You are paying them in dollars. Okay. That means you are supposed to gather more rupees. I have to give 87 rupees to RBI or some other agency to get $1 to import some same amount of fertilizer. So if rupee falls, their prices will increase. But government is capping urea prices, not other diammonium phosphate, etc. Urea government is absolutely capping because it is the most used fertilizer in India. Government is saying you have to sell at 7,000. You have to take 5,000 only from farmer. You have to take 2,000 from me. So companies are also not happy with this setup, and it is a very high import bill on government also, and it is not equal. See, it is per packet base. So if I am a rich farmer, I am buying 30 packets, I am getting 60,000 benefit. A poor farmer cannot afford 30 packets. He will buy only 2 packets. He is getting 4,000 benefits. So government is giving 60,000 subsidy to rich farmer, 4,000 subsidy to poor farmer. So when you are giving subsidy on packet base, you are in fact helping the richest people. Okay, so this is one of the criticism also. So this is altogether different topic. Okay, fertilizer subsidy, you can look at it from the perspective of mains. Okay, that is whether it is a good thing or bad thing, why it is needed, how it can be improved. Okay, and because this is a new year, all the things that are getting expired, okay, like this fertilizer subsidy and now crop insurance schemes, etc., government is extending by another time. Same, there are 2 insurance schemes given to farmers, another kind of support to farmers, and these 2 schemes are expiring. Now government just extended them. Okay, what are these 2 schemes? One is Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana. Okay, another scheme is restructured weather based crop insurance scheme. So 2 crop insurance scheme. Main difference is this protects from natural disasters. Okay, so I am raising a crop, let's say wheat, some natural disaster happened. Okay, it may be some earthquake, okay, it may be some flood, it may be some pest attack. Okay, whatever something out of my control happened and I have lost all my crop, then this insurance will come in hand. So same insurance like normal insurance works, farmers will pay some premium because government wants to help farmers here, government will add some premium. If premium is like, let's say 2,000 rupees per month, for example, to get an insurance cover of 20 lakhs, just for example I am saying, for 20 lakhs cover to your crop, if you have to pay per year 2,000, let's say, government will say, dear farmer, you pay 1,000 only, remaining 1,000 I will pay, because I want to support you. That's why this scheme is introduced. Government is contributing some premium on behalf of the farmer. Okay, to insurance company, like fertilizer subsidy is giving to fertilizer company, insurance premium is being given to insurance company. So this is for disasters. Okay, natural disasters, and your crop has lost completely, you have lost your crop, then this insurance scheme come. Imagine this scenario. This year monsoon came, nothing severe incident happened, but the monsoon this year I received is only 80% of average. Whatever last year came, good rainfall came, this year only 80% came. What will happen to my output? My output will not get completely destroyed like natural disaster, but my output will be reduced. So 80%, my output will also be 80% of what it was last year, more or less. Or rains came too much, some 130% rains came, more rainfall than average, it is also not a good thing. Appropriate range is always good thing. Over rains leads to some kind of flooding, etc. So my crops somewhat got damaged, it will only give me 60% output. So this is not a complete destroying of my crop so that this insurance scheme becomes applicable. This is some kind of severe event only. This is a natural disaster where my crop is completely destroyed. But in the case of extreme events, my crop will not get completely destroyed. It will only partially affected. When crop is partially affected, then this scheme will come into effect. So in this thing, some agencies will understand the impact of climate, how much rain came, how much heat came. So they will make an estimation what will be the output of the crop. Here they will come to your area, they will physically see, okay, whole crop got destroyed, so now I will give you full insurance. They will come and see after the incident. Here they don't have to come, they will just understand weather patterns. That is why the scheme name is restructured weather based crop insurance scheme. They will see the weather patterns, they will make an estimation what will be the impact on the output of the crop. Okay, understood? This is for natural disasters, this is for weather events. Okay, here crop is destroyed, here crop may not have been destroyed, okay, just affected. So 2 insurance schemes more or less available, and government is helping farmers with these 2 insurance schemes, and validity of both the schemes government extended now. Okay, so again, news is not important, just mere extension, issue is important. Index of 8 core industries. Okay, this is the IIP, same that IIP just I told you, for measurement of industrial output. So it is given by Office of Economic Advisor, Ministry of Commerce. Okay, So it is based on 2011-12. So prices in this year will be taken as base. Okay. So in this industrial index of industrial production, some sectors are very important. See, there in this index many things can be present. Okay, oil, etc. Many things can happen, but some industries are very important to India, and these are called core industries. Okay, what are these core industries? Coal sector, crude oil, natural gas, petroleum refinery products, fertilizer, steel, cement, and electricity. These are called core sectors, and they form 40.27 of this index. Okay. Among this, all the products in this index, these particular products are very much important to us. Okay, as an economy, they are called core industries. See, take the case of paper. Let's say paper making is an industry, but it is not a core industry. But it may present in IAP, but it is not that much important to us, so it is not part of core. Understood? So there can be other industries other than core, but these core industries are very much important to our economy. Okay. Hydrogel. So this is kind of new technology. Okay, so you must have seen things like this. Okay, some kind of balls. Okay, they are very soft, and why this kind of new things are exciting? Because they have many natural advantages. They appear solid in form, but when you give them water, they will absorb all the water. Any liquid you give them, they will absorb all the liquid, but they will still remain solid. All the other products, like you take ice cream and you put it in water, it will become liquid. But these particular products maintain their solid nature, so they will have many advantages, and they absorb anything. So if I have a wound, and instead of traditional cotton, etc., if I put some hydrogel here, it will absorb all the infected items. Okay, so it has many advantages like this. Okay, because of its hydrophilic nature, that means the nature to attract all the water. Okay, still retaining its form. So it has many benefits like waste management. So there is some waste, and I have to separate some parts of the liquid waste from that. So I put some hydrogel on that. It will absorb all the liquid waste from it. Okay. So it's just a matter of your creativity. It has many advantages. Okay. And drug delivery also seen. Using this, we can deliver drugs to the cancer patients. Okay. Targeted delivery. Okay. So that is why in this news, some people, some scientists, some researchers have used this hydrogel in making cancer treatment effective. Okay. So science and technology, hydrogel is also part of science and technology, GS3. So ISRO has recently done something. Okay, it has used a rocket called PSLV C60. So just a few days back. Okay, so science and technology done. So you must be knowing ISRO has many rockets, PSLV, GSLV, etc. So we have this PSLV, which we use to send lower satellites to lower Earth orbit. Okay, PSLV, Polar Satellite Launch Vehicle, and it is number 60. So it has 4 stages. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4 stages. It has 4 stages. Stages means when it goes to space, this first part will get detached after some time. Then after going to some more height, second part will get detached. After going to some part, third part will get detached. And the satellite, our main aim is to put that satellite in the space. That is why you are sending rocket. So the thing you want to put in space, it will remain in the final part, and when you go into space, it will throw the satellite into the orbit, and this final part will remain in space forever. Now it is like a waste material in the space. So you are putting a satellite, but you have to take satellite. If this part falls onto the ground, what will take satellite to the space? So something has to be there till the end, till the satellite makes the orbit. But it has no usage after satellite was placed. So every country is doing this, and all the countries in the world are sending like 200, 300 satellites per year. So we are having a problem of space debris. Done. Time is 11. Okay, see, so space is becoming like this. Earth is being surrounded by all the waste material after dumping the satellites. So in future, if we continue like this, we will not be able to even move to space. Everywhere there is debris. And it's not like it is staying static. Everything you leave in Earth, it will rotate around Earth like anything. 20,000 per kilometer per hour. With the speed of around 20 to 25,000 kilometer per hour. That is the speed things will rotate around Earth, including satellites. So every debris you leave in the space is very harmful to even our own satellites. If there are too many space objects, in future we will not able to space satellite also. So this is a problem. So our ISRO scientists have thought some smart thing. So they have added some additional materials to this last stage, and now they want to use this for research. So now I want to place some satellite, I will place it, done. Now till now I am not using this last part, but now I may want to do some research in space, like I want to understand how agriculture works in space. Just yesterday ISRO has announced they are successful in making some space agri experiment. Okay, so in space I want to understand how agriculture works. In Earth, in gravity conditions everything is fine, in natural soil it is fine. Now I want to understand in future if I want to go to space, how do I raise my own food. So for experiment like this I will use this last part, that is the thought. Okay, so now you are willing to do some research. So if there is a private company and it wants to do some space research, now I will allow that company to do this research, and in turn I will charge some money from that company. Now I have some money, so I can put some more boosters to this and I can bring this back to the Earth. So there is no debris in the space. Two problems solved, one stone, two birds. So companies now they are given a chance to do some research in the space. They are happy, they are willing to pay the money, and with that money now I can bring this back to Earth. So there is no space debris also. So ISRO has thought like this. So they started doing this PSLV orbital experimental module, POEM. This is nothing but using the last part for experiments. Okay. So recently using this is fourth experiment of POEM. Okay. So we have done POEM 1, POEM 2, POEM 3, POEM 4 using previous PSLVs. Now using PSLV C60. We have sent something called SpadeX mission. Okay, space docking experiment. Shortcut is SpadeX. That means there are two things. This is called chaser. This is called target. So there are two things in space. Now we want to attach them. This is called docking. So two objects. Till now one object will go and it will come back. That is the existing technology India has. Only advanced countries, USA, Russia, China, only these three countries have docking technology. That means they can dock two objects. That means people from this object can travel to this object. That is why there is an International Space Station of America permanently in space, and satellites, spacecrafts will move from Earth to space because they have that technology. India does not have that technology. So India wants to develop its own space docking technology. So it used this PSLV to send this satellite in the space. This is our main thing. This SpadeX satellite we have sent through PSLV C60, and after the material is remaining we are doing some other experiments. Okay. So let me stop here. Time given to me is still 11:30 na? Just a minute. 11:30? Okay, we have time. So Scorpion class submarines, introduction by Navy. So this is also part of science and technology, I will say. So Indian Navy, news is Indian Navy is inducting some submarines. Okay, that means we are buying some submarines from some other country or something, or we are making our own. Now Navy is formally inducting them. Navy is taking them in. That means they are ready. They are fight ready. So you already know what is submarine. Submarine is a watercraft. Okay, unlike ship. Ship is something open, so anyone can see ship. Now I want to send something to some area, but I don't want my enemy to see it. I want it to go in stealth mode secretly. So then I will use something called submarine. Okay, but if submarine has to go secretly, that means it should have enough power. It should have enough power to stay silent, secret for long. If for every 3 hours my submarine is coming up for fuel or food, what is the usage? My enemies will ultimately see. So if I want my submarine to stay like 2 months, 3 months, 6 months or 1 year, I want appropriate technology for that. So traditionally we have like diesel, electric engine submarines. That means they are fueled by diesel or electric engines. But these will have very low efficiency. That means every 10 days, 20 days they have to come outside. So I am compromising somewhat my secrecy because I don't have enough technology. So then people look for more better resources. Then they have started using nuclear reactors as power sources. When you use nuclear sources, now you can stay for longer times, 1 year, 2 year, decade even. If you have enough nuclear material, submarine can even stay for decade. Now it is just a matter of food. How many months of food you will take, that many months you can stay inside the sea. Okay, so different type of submarines. One is diesel electric submarines. These are called conventional or traditional powered submarines. Then there are nuclear submarines. Nuclear submarine does not mean it will throw some nuclear missile. Nuclear submarine means it is powered by nuclear material. Okay, so India has different type of things. Okay, so these are literally different types of submarines India have. So these 3 are traditional submarines. Okay, diesel electric type. Then India also have 2 nuclear submarines. Okay, Arihant and Arigat. Okay, so under different type of projects we are buying different submarines, and we are buying this Scorpion. Okay, Scorpion class submarines from France. Okay, so the Scorpion, are they nuclear or traditional? Are they traditional? Okay, so Scorpion class submarine we have bought from France, and one such submarine Navy is taking in. Okay, Parker probe. Okay, so NASA has sent some satellite, okay, some spacecraft called Parker solar probe. Okay, so name is Parker solar probe. That means everything is in the name. Okay, so there are many things we want to understand about the sun. See, if you see the earth core is very hot, like 6000 degrees centigrade, but earth surface is almost 20-30 degrees centigrade. We are able to live on earth. Same with most objects in the space. But sun, we see sun surface is more hotter than sun core. Sun core has some, let's say 1 lakh degrees centigrade. Then as you come outside, it is slowly decreasing. Surface it is like, let's say 6000 degrees centigrade. But suddenly the topmost layer of sun, which is called corona. Okay. So sun has different layers. Okay. Okay, core, radiative zone, etc., etc., photosphere, etc. So topmost layer is corona. Okay, this is the topmost layer, and it is unusually hot. It is against common sense logic. It is not supposed to be that hot. Temperature is supposed to decrease as you go away from the core, but that is applicable till here only. But suddenly the outer layer of sun is very hot. We are not able to understand why. So there are some things we want to understand about sun, which will be very helpful for us in our space missions. So NASA has sent a spacecraft to understand the sun. It is called Solar Parker probe. Okay, so the aim is to get as much close as to the sun without getting burned up. If you get too closer to the sun, you will get burned up. But this Parker probe is designed in such a way that it will go enough close to the sun to study, okay, closer than any object has gone to the sun in the history. This is the closest object to the sun in the history. Okay, Parker Solar Probe. So recently it almost touched the sun, that is why it is in the news. Okay, Parker Solar Probe. It is by NASA. Okay. Quantum chip. So anybody know what is quantum mechanics? What is quantum mechanics? So quantum mechanics is the science of or physics of subatomic atoms, okay, like atom size, okay, lesser than molecule size, atoms and subatomic atoms. That means particles will behave in one way till you go to the size of molecule. So now this table is bigger in size, so if you go deeper and deeper, it will have tiny molecules. Till then it will follow all the Newtonian laws. We have Newtonian laws of motion, it will follow it. If you go below that level, like atomic level or even deeper than atom, nucleus, it will no more follow Newtonian laws. Things will be very different below the size of molecule, and we don't know why till now. If I am standing here now, you can tell me where I am exactly standing. You can give me my geographical coordinates and you can tell my speed also, 0. Even if I am moving, you can tell my speed. Traffic police have these new devices, they will identify speed and location also. Okay. So for the classical objects, that means objects bigger than atom size, we are able to identify both size, location and speed. But when you go below molecular level, things are not clear. It's like you are seeing me here, at the same time I am there. One person, but you are seeing me at 3 places at once. It means I am not a particle anymore, I am a wave. I am a wave spread over a place. Understood? So when you go to the nucleus, you will not see single atom, you will not see single electron. Same electron you will see simultaneously at 3-4 different places. You will not able to measure the location and the speed of the electron simultaneously. Okay, very complex. Just understand, things are very different at submolecular level. That is why a different science was developed for the items smaller than molecule. It is called quantum mechanics or quantum physics, and we don't know why it is happening. Things are behaving like particles. Imagine a ball, cricket ball. So it is a particle. You can clearly tell its speed, location, etc. But when you go to atomic size, things will become more like waves. So they can exist at multiple places simultaneously. Okay. So take this switch, some switch. So this switch is on now. It is giving power. I will call it 1. If I stop it now, it will no more give power. I will call it 0. So all our existing computers are based on this. You give power, you call it 1. You stop power, you call it 0. And after that it is just coding, sequence of ones and zeros. That is how I am communicating with my computer, using ones and zeros by giving power and stopping power. When I am stopping power, when I am giving power, my computer is supposed to understand. That is the only way I am able to talk to my computer, because it is not a living object. I cannot use real language. So I am giving power means it will work in one way. I am stopping power means it will work in one way. I am using this as a code and almost making it look like I am talking to my computer. So this is called digital technology 1.0. Digital technology is part of classical physics, and based on this digital technology, all the existing computers, including all the supercomputers. Supercomputer means very big, large computer size of almost a house building. All the things operate, all the computers in the world operate on classical physics, which is using digital technology 1.0. But I am saying, when you go to quantum level, things are different. So if this switch, if it is smaller than atom, it can be off, it can be on, it will also have another phase. You cannot tell whether it is off or on. Understood? Because it is no more single fixed thing. It is waveform, it can be here and there simultaneously. It can be off and on at the same time. Okay? Don't question too much. Just understand, in quantum level, apart from being there, being not there, there is also a third phase called superposition. The more you try to understand quantum physics, the more you get confused. Okay? Just understand, When you go to subatomic level, instead of having the regular 2, you have another third phase also. Now there are 2 roads, 2 lanes for vehicles to pass on road. So there will be some traffic. Now I am adding a third lane. Will lanes get freed up or more congested? Lanes get more freed up. Now computer having 2 ways to talk to me. I am having only 2 ways to talk to computer. So it will take some time to respond. I am giving it a sum and it can only do calculations in 1 0. This is one speed. Now I am giving a third thing. I am adding a third thing. So it will do calculations in a faster way. Just like that road example. Okay, don't question too much. Quantum physics is too much confusing. Just understand. Previously it has only 2 options to solve problems. Now it has a third way to solve a problem. So it will solve at a faster rate. So the point here is that if you somehow can harness quantum technology, your computers will become faster. Very, very faster than you can imagine. Because this is very fundamental level. At very fundamental level, instead of 2 variables, now you have 3 variables. It is like I have all books in one shelf, all books in another shelf, another separate shelf showing clear index where each book is. Okay. So if you can harness quantum technology, speeds of your computers will increase, calculations increase, literally everything you do will increase. Your internet speed will increase. Okay. Your vehicle speed, everything is related to technology. Now every technology will become more faster, more efficient. Okay. So that is the benefit of quantum technology. But the problem is things have to be smaller level, and to maintain that quantum levels is very difficult. Because what is the size of our computers? It is bigger than atoms. Our computers are not at atomic level. We have computers of bigger size. Our phone is like this much size. So the moment you bring something from quantum to normal size, it will lose its quantumness. So this superposition will go, again it will come to 1 0. So the task here is that individually you should keep every atom in quantum level, but the whole product we should be able to see like classical thing. Understood? It is a very difficult thing. The point here is that we know the advantages quantum physics is giving, but we are not able to use it. We don't have enough technology to harness it. It needs like very low temperature, very high pressure, very special laboratory conditions. That is why till now we are ordinary people not able to use quantum computers. All the computers you use are classical computers. But maybe in future, after some 15-20 years, you may see some different kind of revolutionary. In movies we will see screens in air. There will be no phone, there will be a screen air. It is a quantum technology like that. Okay, in future things like that may come, but as of now we are not able to harness. But Google has done something miraculous. It has produced a chip which is used in computer using quantum technology. So it is able to solve some problem using this quantum chip. Okay, why this is happening? Because traditional will use only 2 bits, 0 or 1, but these quantum bits, which are called qubits or quantum bits, can have 0 or 1 or superposition, both at the same time. Okay, this unique ability allows quantum chips to handle complex calculations. Like they have solved a problem which would have taken normal supercomputer some like 1 lakh 10 lakh years, they have solved in 5 minutes. That much speed, rapid speed. Okay, that is why it is in news. Okay, so Google has done something which is very revolutionary in quantum field. That is the summary. Okay, so Bhopal gas tragedy, talks waste got removed. So in 1984, December 3, midnight, one unfortunate event happened in India in Bhopal, and it is the world's largest disaster. More than 5,400 people have died, and in no other industrial disaster in the world, whether you hear Chernobyl or anything, even in Japan, Fukushima, Chernobyl, no other disaster in the world, industrial disaster, that many people have died. In India, it happened on 1984, December 3. So there was a factory, okay, it is called Union Carbide. It is a pesticide factory. Pesticide means something farmers use against pests. Okay, some pests attack like this bollworm on cotton, it attack the crop. So against the crop, farmers spray this pesticide to protect their crops. So this company, Union Carbide, manufactures these pesticides. And the chemical they are using is methyl isocyanate, okay? Methyl isocyanate. This is the chemical they are storing in their factory and they are making pesticides. It is a very toxic, poisonous gas to humans. Okay, so this is an American company running in America and also in India. But in America, they are maintaining so much security standards because in America system is strict, tougher. But in India, because of corruption and in that time, it was too much and there were not enough regulation. So they were operating same company in America in one way with high standards, high security, high safety measures. But they are not operating in India at the same level of safety. So no one is taking proper care of a factory which is carrying a poisonous element at too many levels, and it is in middle of the neighborhood. You can see it is living in middle of so many houses. And on this day midnight, because of some accident or some person must have done something wrong or he might have forgotten his duty, this methyl isocyanate got leaked in the gaseous form. It is poisonous. Now it started leaking to all the surrounding areas. So after this, immediately some 100,000 people died. Slowly over the years, more than 5,000 people died, and many thousands of people got affected. Its groundwater got affected. The surrounding groundwater got polluted. Okay, and many generations of children got affected. Okay, that is a very horrible incident for India. It is the world worst disaster. Okay, so the justice to these victims, all that is a different topic. So from that day, all the remaining toxic waste, so whatever the material it was in the factory at that time, now some got leaked and people died. Now whatever the remaining material was there, factory will be closed immediately. Obviously after this disaster, factory is closed. Till date that waste is still there. So in 1984 it happened. Now we are in 2024, roughly 40 years. Still that waste is inside that factory. So how to remove that? It is a challenge. So court has given many directions to the state government of Madhya Pradesh, saying you can do this. Use some technology, burn it. Okay, burn it and completely take it out of environment. If you keep it there, it will creep in groundwater, or who knows, again some gas might got leaked. Okay, so keeping it is very dangerous. Proper disposal is very necessary. Okay, so for 40 years it remained there. Now state government is doing something to remove the waste. What state government is doing? It is using some special vehicles with special containers. It is taking that waste material and it is taking some to another place called Pitampura in MP. It is like 200-250 km from here, and it is incinerating. That means burning this waste. So what happens when you burn? It will go into air. So it may cause pollution. They are saying, government is saying, we will put some 10 layers of filters so that the air comes ultimately is pure. But who knows? Okay, people should be convinced. And again, at the new place where you are incinerating, what is the guarantee? It will not creep into groundwater. So you are taking this many tons of thing and you will incinerate it one by one. Meanwhile, something may creep into groundwater. So the people in this new area where this incineration is happening, they are protesting. Don't do it here, do it elsewhere. Okay, this is also in today's news, you can see. Okay, anyway, the main news is this toxic waste which is lying there for the past 40 years. Now government is removing it. Time, can you tell me? 11:27. Okay. So there is an editorial in Hindu. It is saying that there were 4 environmental conventions done in 2024, but unfortunately nothing has given result. So article says world countries should have done better. We have 4 events and no event produced some good output. Okay, so first one is GS3 environment done. No. So anyway, we are polluting earth like anything, starting from industrial revolution 1760. So after 200 years we have woken up. Now everybody started realizing we are polluting the world. We are putting a hole in ozone. Our climates are getting polluted. So Western countries themselves have seen some negative events like so one day when London woke up, it could not breathe. People have died in London. Everywhere there is pollution. Whatever happening in Delhi right now, it happened in London around 1950, 1960, 70, 60 years back. So then people started understanding the pollution we are making from these factories and vehicles also affects our health. Okay, so many people died in this London smog incident. So from 1970s we started caring about our environment. So small events started, and one major event happened is Rio Earth Summit. Rio Earth Summit. Okay, Rio is in which country? Rio de Janeiro in Brazil. Okay, and in this place we have conducted a summit called Earth Summit in 1992. Okay, and we have deliberated extensively on various issues. How we are destroying biodiversity. Biodiversity means diversity in life forms. Imagine honeybee. What happens if I kill all the honeybees on the earth? Will it impact me? All the honeybees? Honeybees go to flowers, collect honey. But in this process, they help flowers pollination. Okay, they will collect one flower's things with another flower's things. So this is pollination. So if I kill honeybees, flowers are not getting pollinated, and they are not giving fruits. If they are not giving fruits, all the animals which are depending on the fruits and the plants will not survive. And ultimately humans are surviving on those animals and plants. So see, killing honeybees directly may not be affecting, but we are all interlinked. So diverse life forms connected with each other, and all are important, necessary for nature. This is biodiversity. So humans have this necessity to protect the biodiversity. Okay. So we are killing biodiversity, we are polluting the earth, we are removing forests, cutting forests, making roads, etc. Okay, so need to protect the biodiversity realized, and in this Earth Summit they decided to form an organization called United Nations Convention for Biodiversity, UNCBD. So this convention will frequently conduct meetings and decide on biodiversity. Then climate change. We are changing climate too much, earth is becoming too warm, global warming, etc. So they have formed a convention for this also, UNFCCC. Land is getting degraded, we are cutting forests, etc. We are removing agricultural lands, we are cutting forests for agriculture, then we are removing both forests and agricultural land for houses. Okay, we are occupying lakes, so we are degrading land. So to deal with degradation of land, we have done something called UNCCD, UN Convention to Combat Desertification. Okay, and this year there is no official convention like this. We wanted to deal with plastic pollution. There is too much plastic and it is growing like anything. So there is an organization called UNEP, United Nations Environment Program. So this UNEP took some initiative and called all the countries and conducted a meeting to discuss on plastic pollution. So you can see in 2024 UNCBD convention happened in Colombia. Okay, Cali, city name is CLI. UNFCCC in Azerbaijan, Baku. UNCCD, Saudi Arabia, Riyadh. Okay, South Korea, Busan. So 4 meetings have happened, but nothing have produced a result, because at the core there is a difference between perspectives of developed countries and developing countries. Okay, so developing countries like India and China, they are asking developed countries, UK, Britain, understand, you have polluted the world for more than 200 years. We were not even industrialized till 50 years ago. So you take more responsibility. You give us finances. You are technologically more advanced. You give us some technology from yours. Okay. So we are putting more demands on the advanced countries. Okay. And at the same time, we need some time. We have too much population. If we stop coal today, India will face severe power crisis. I understand coal is polluting, but I do not have enough technology to produce power for everyone from renewable energy. I have solar energy, I have wind energy, but my technology is limited. So I need some more time. India says I need some more time. But developed country says let us stop everyone from now on. they have the technology, they don't want to give, but they want us to stop. Okay, so there are some differences, you can read it here. Because of these differences, these conventions are not producing any output. Okay, so Simplipal Reserve environment is in Odisha. Okay, some tiger got released. Okay, okay, this is the last news. Okay, so India, we have cyber crimes rising. So with the advent of technology, globalization, new crime started, new issue started. So how to deal with cyber crime? So Ministry of Home Affairs have started something called Indian Cyber Crime Coordination Center. See, it's in the name. It will coordinate. It is an agency to coordinate. So they have given some call for some people. Be a volunteer. If you have enough technology, enough resources, and if you have the love towards your country, please help us to counter this cyber crime. If you come across a website which is defrauding people, please report to us. Okay, if you come across a website which is selling some illegal things, okay, you please inform to us. So government has started taking help of some volunteers, digital volunteers, using this website. Okay, so any kind of threat to India, people who are registered here, they can report it and bring to the government attention. So just this news says 54,800 people registered themselves as cyber volunteers. Okay, just read it. Okay, so that's it, we are done with current affairs of this week. Okay.